40 water, tell 'em. Yeah, get up with me. Sneak this, first person shooter. I hope they came with 3 switches. I crash out like rap. This melly melt if I had to. Got 2 T's with me. I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos. It's up. Lost too many soldiers, not to play it safe. If he walk around with that stick, it ain't Andre 3K. Think I won't drop the location. I still got PTSD. The big 3. It's just big meat.
This ain't stainless steel, it's platinum. Dinner table, I got manners. T-shirt tucked in napkin. Still loading, that's the caption. I've only amounted a minimal fraction. Eat good, I got indigestion. There's snow in my hood, no aspirin. Can't get rid of my pain with aspirin. Dave just came in at Aston, I'm making that Maybach music. They're trying to insult my intelligence sometimes, I may act stupid. I never went uni, I've been on a campus selling the students. If bro let the drumstick beat, then something gon' leak, we ain't playing exclusives.
Take a look at these diamonds, wrong as a life for squinting, can't just stare. We're babe through thick and thin, she already fixed, so I'm halfway there. Brown and bad, could've changed my mind, I was halfway there. 100 meters, I just put 9 gal in a sprint.
100 eaters, it won't fit in one SUV, no. SOS, somebody rescue me, I got too many, I got, they could last me the next 2 weeks. Alright, now send the address through, please.
Fire for a white beat, I can't rock with that, I ain't wearing a vest. Man have to send her therapy, she got a E-cup bra, a lot on her chest. I'm in Jamaica, Orica best. Hit a lick when cash converters, that don't work, it's porno chess. I'm doing more and talking less. I love chilling with broke man, book 1 flight and they're all impressed. I'm in the G63, the car hugs me like a friend through twists and turns. Man living for Nyash and dying for Nyashes. Don't know which one's worse. Bags in his and hers, what's hers is hers, what's mine is too.
Hi, I'm Trey Fix-Wolansky, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
He takes a funky bounce off the corner boards. Now on for Fix-Wolansky. He scores! Fix-Wolansky on the power play.
I'm Casey Fitzgerald.
This is Brett Berard. Hi, I'm Anton Lead.
Now look at that. He's got some runway. Lead with it. Across, and he scores! Right in the middle, Fix-Wolansky now Brisson with some room and a shot, and he scores!
This is Spencer Murray.
Hi, I'm Grant Patolny.
Hi, this is Connor Mackey, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
And now to tonight's host, Sean Dufresne.
Just 4 home games left on the 2025-2026 calendar for the Hartford Wolfpack. A meeting with the Hershey Bears tonight inside People's Bank Arena. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Dufresne here. This is the Wolfpack pregame show. Happy to have you alongside. Coming up on the pregame show, we'll preview tonight's proceedings. We'll also get into the head-to-head matchups between these two Atlantic Division foes. We'll jump into the notebooks, the most recent outings for both teams tonight. We'll jump into the starting lineups as well, and we'll preview some programming we have for you later on tonight. Alex Thomas will be joining us shortly after the anthem for the play-by-play call of the game. Before we get into the head-to-head, let's take a quick look at the Atlantic Division standings. Just 7 games remaining for the Hartford Wolfpack. As mentioned, 4 at home, 3 on the road. They currently sit last place in the Atlantic Division with 56 points, 8 points out of a playoff spot. The Springfield Thunderbirds currently occupy that 6th spot. The away team, Hershey Bears, just 1 point inside the playoff bubble, 5th place in the Atlantic Division. They've struggled as of late, dropping their last 3 contests, looking to get back into the win column. The all-important time, this final stretch of the season. We'll jump now into the head-to-head matchup between the Wolfpack and the Bears. This is the 4th and final meeting this season between Hershey and Hartford. Wolfpack have won each of the first 3 meetings so far this season. Bears are 0-2-1-0 against the Wolfpack during this regular season. It started with an overtime victory for the Wolfpack by a score of 3-2 on January 14th. And they followed it up 6 nights later with a 5-4 overtime victory as well in Hershey. Brett Berard scored the overtime game winner on January 14th, while it was Bryce McConnell-Barker applying the dagger on January 20th. In their most recent meeting, played in Hartford on March 7th, the Wolfpack would claim a 5-2 victory. Trey Fix-Wolansky and Kerry Torrance each scored twice in that victory, with Torrance's second goal standing as the game winner. Fix-Wolansky has 5 goals in 3 games against the Hershey Bears this season, including a hat trick in that overtime win on January 20th. Jumping into the Wolfpack notebook here, they have dropped their 5th straight game last night by a score of 4-2 in Bridgeport against the Islanders at Total Mortgage Arena. Wolfpack are 0-3-1-1 in this 5-game skid. The Pack were done in by 3 goals against in the first period. It started with Dalen Kiefler breaking the ice at 4:49, beating Spencer Martin through the 5-hole on a backhand bid. Cam Teasing would make it 2-0 later on in the first period at 14:16, striking from the right wing point with a screen in front. Then it would be the defenseman Marshall Warren beating Martin by the glove at 18:07, striking from the left wing circle. Wolfpack started a punch back in the game. It started with Fix-Wolansky getting the Wolfpack on the board, 5:54 into the second period. And then early on in period 3, it was Bryce McConnell-Barker at 2:56, making it a 3-2 game in the third. But the hole was too much to overcome that early hole as Henrik Tikkanen made 14 third period saves. It was a valiant punch back by Hartford, but Tikkanen had his best period of the night in the third, while Matthew Highmore would hit an empty net at 18:47. Fix-Wolansky and Bryce McConnell-Barker and some goal-scoring machines as of late for the Wolfpack. That first goal from Fix-Wolansky will take you into the highlight zone for Alex Thomas's call.
On the ice. Fix-Wolansky, right wing side, steps into a drive, save Tikkanen, the rebound leaks through and in. The Wolfpack are on the board. It's a 3-1 game. Fix-Wolansky stepped into a drive from the right wing side. Not sure what it hit on the way in. The red light went on.
Fix-Wolansky playing some good hockey as of late for the Wolfpack. As mentioned, that punch back from Hartford made it a 1-goal game. It was Bryce McConnell-Barker early on in the third period.
Out to center in, Tom Bleed got through 2 blue jerseys, couldn't get by a third. As Bleed and Warren went over, puck turned over, shot from McConnell-Barker, save made, rebound, he scores! Bryce McConnell-Barker! It's a 1-goal game on a gift-wrapped giveaway by the Islanders.
Just 2 more battles of Connecticut this season, one at Total Mortgage Arena and then one here in Hartford on April 15th. Over on the Bears side, they fell by a dueling score of 4-2 at the Mass Mutual Center to the Springfield Thunderbirds. Grant Cruikshank got the Bears on the board first with a shorthanded strike, 11:22 into the game, but the T-Birds would take over from there, scoring 3 unanswered goals, beginning with Akil Thomas tying the game 6:57 into the second period, and then Alec Koskamaki gave the home side a lead for good at 10:22. Thomas Bordelot gave the needed insurance, extending the lead to 3-1 at 15:48, striking on the power play. Louis Belpedio, the defenseman for the Bears, veteran, got the Bears within 1 at 12 on the dot of the third period, but a late Hunter Skinner empty netter would seal the deal with just 22 seconds remaining in the game. The Bears surrendered 2 power play goals in that loss, and they come into tonight 2-7-0-1 in their last 10 games. Still in a playoff position as of tonight, as we mentioned. They currently sit at 65 points, occupying the 5th place spot in the Atlantic Division. If the season were to end today, they'd head to Total Mortgage Arena for an opening round series against the Islanders. Gonna waste no time here getting into the starting lineups for each side. We'll begin with the visiting Hershey Bears. Left to right, they'll look like this. It'll be Andrew Crystal with Ilya Protas and Bogdan Trineyev. Sam Bitten will draw in with Henrik Rybinski and Brett Leeson. Sonny Milano with Kyler Kupka and Alex Suzdalev. And then Dalton Smith with Grant Cruikshank and Matthew Strome rounds out the forwards. On the blue line, it's the former Thunderbird Corey Schuneman drawing into the top pair alongside the rookie Ryan Chelsea. David Gucciardi draws in with Louis Belpedio, and then rounding out the defensemen, Leon Mugli, the rookie, and John McDonald. Starting between the pipes tonight for the Bears, it'll be Mitch Gibson, entering the night 8-8-3 on the season at .288 goals against average, a .903 save percentage, and 1 shutout. Scratches tonight for the Hershey Bears, it'll be goaltenders Jesper Vikman and Clay Stevenson, defensemen Cam Allen, Riley Webb, and Romain Rodzinski, and then forwards Spencer Smallman, Eric Spateko, Wyatt Bongiovanni, and Alex Gaffney. The head coach of the Hershey Bears is Derek King in his first year. The assistant coaches are Nick Bootland and Brent Thompson. Goaltending coach is Yua Letola. Now on to the Wolfpack side. They'll look like this. Left to right, Anton Bleed with Dylan Robrick and Daniel Walcott. Brendan Brisson with Juuso Parssinen and Trey Fix-Volansky. Left to right, Aiden Thompson with Bryce McConnell-Barker and Brody Lamb. And then rounding out the forward group, Wolfpack going 11-7 tonight. It'll be Zachary Karpa and Kalle Väisänen. On the blue line, Connor Mackey will draw in with Casey Fitzgerald, Jackson Dorrington with Scott Morrow, Cooper Moore with Brandon Scanlon, and Chris Ortiz, the 7th defenseman. Starting in net tonight for the Wolfpack, it'll be Callum Tung, coming into the season 5-5-1, an .865 save percentage, .344 goals against average. Coming off his best outing in that overtime loss last weekend to Charlotte. He'll be backed up by Spencer Martin. Scratches tonight for the Wolfpack. Goaltender Hugo Olas is healthy. Defenseman Travis Dermott is week to week with an upper body injury. Defenseman Phip Waugh is healthy. Defenseman Blake Hillman is day to day with a lower body injury. And forwards Brett Berard, week to week upper body. Kerry Tarrant day to day with an upper body injury. Justin Dowling, week to week with a lower body injury. And forward Cage Sturzer is healthy. The general manager of the Hartford Wolfpack is Ryan Martin. The head coach is Grant Patolny. Assistant coaches are Jamie Tardif and Paul Mara. Goaltending coach is Brendan Burke. Officiating crew for tonight, the referees will be Chad Ingalls and Samuel Heidemann. Ingalls will wear number 38, Heidemann will wear 60. The lines people will be Anthony Lapointe and Kevin Briganti. Lapointe will wear 58 and Briganti 39. Coming up on tonight's broadcast, I'll be joined by Connor Mackey in the first intermission for our Inside the Locker Room interview. As we preview tonight's matchup, the Wolfpack a chance to get their first regular season series sweep against the Hershey Bears since their 2013-14 season. Could make some history late in the season here, can the Wolfpack? Good conversation with Mackey to look forward to there. Alex Thomas has just arrived in the broadcast booth. You should be expecting to hear from him on the other side of the national anthem as the Wolfpack take on the Hershey Bears in the regular season series finale. Wolfpack not quite out of the fight yet, 8 points out of a playoff spot, trailing the Springfield Thunderbirds. Lehigh Valley Phantoms are 6 points ahead of them, occupying the 7th place position. It's a busy night in the American Hockey League, not including this game here, 14 other games. You're going to have quite the moving day within this league. Wolfpack set to join the ice shortly. National anthem proceedings will occur shortly thereafter. I'll be hanging out on color later on this evening. Alex Thomas will be on play-by-play. Plays of the week will be coming in the second intermission as well. Wolfpack looking to snap a 5-game skid heading into tonight. They are 0-3-1-1 in that span. The points they were able to bank was in a series last weekend against the Charlotte Checkers. They suffered an overtime and shootout loss. They played good hockey. They played good hockey last night as well in the final 40. against the Bridgeport Islanders. Dug themselves a bit of a hole in the first period, made it a one-goal game. We are in must-win territory at this point in the season. The margin for error is razor thin. If you're just joining us, this is the Wolfpack pregame. Happy to have you alongside on AHL TV, on Flow Hockey and Mixler. Sean Dufresne here, joined by Alex Thomas in just a few. They announce the starting lineups here for the Wolfpack. It can be argued that this season series could have gone either way. You look back at those first two games on January 14th and the 20th, both overtime wins on the road. This Hershey Bears team, since the new year, in 23 divisional games played, they just have 3 wins. Although they're still in the playoffs at this point, that is the big stat to look at if they aren't able to pick up some points here late in the season. Just a few moments, we'll send it down to public address announcer John Sheetsley for our national anthem. This has been the Wolfpack pregame show. Happy to have you alongside. On the other side of the anthem, we will have puck drop.
Your hats. Presenting our nation's colors, please welcome tonight's color guard, the First Company Governor's Horse Guard. Presenting tonight's Big Flag, please welcome tonight's Big Flag group, Building Blocks Learning Center. And here to perform the Star Spangled Banner, please welcome West District School.
Hi, I'm Trey Fix-Wolanski.
Adam Sikora left wing side, cross the ice. Fix-Wolanski shoots, he scores! Ryan Wiley turned it over, Bleed, Robrick shoots, he scores! Off the turnover, Anton Bleed feeds Dylan Robrick. Lays it back up to the blue line for Connor Mackey. Mackey, a shot, scores! Connor Mackey from the blue line.
And now for tonight's play-by-play call of the action, here's Alex Thomas.
Well, the Wolfpack in big-time need of a victory here this evening against the Hershey Bears. The Wolfpack have dropped 5 in a row and need one here tonight against the Hershey team that just as badly needs 2 points heading into the stretch drive. Hershey is in a playoff spot right now. The Wolfpack are 8 points back, and, well, with 7 games to go, they will need almost all 7 of them. It starts here tonight against this Hershey team. He's Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas. Welcome inside the broadcast booth on this Saturday evening. Let's meet your starting goaltenders. We'll start with Callum Tung, who's 5-5-1 with an .865 save percentage, a 3.44 goals against average, and 0 shutouts in 11 games played this season. He'll send goal to our broadcast left. The Wolfpack will go left to right across your screen in their home blue uniforms with the white letters and numbers. The numbers outlined in red here in period 1. Mitch Gibson is 8-8-3 with a .903 save percentage, a 2.88 goals against average, and 1 shutout in 21 games played this year. He'll 10 goal to our broadcast right. The Bears in their road white uniforms with the chocolate letters and numbers, and a chocolate shoulder on this uniform will go from right to left. The Wolfpack are 3-0-0 in the season series. They won in overtime 3-2 in Hershey January 14th, 5-4 in overtime January 20th, and then 5-2 in the most recent meeting here back on March the 7th. And Sean, for Hartford, they need a better start here tonight than they got last night in Bridgeport.
That was certainly the difference last night at Total Mortgage Arena. It was a good final 40 for Hartford, but they dug themselves into quite a hole there in period one. They were unable to crawl out of. Razor thin is the margin of error at this point in the season. This is a must-get in terms of the 2 points.
It was a really good final 40 last night for the Wolfpack, but they were done in by a first period that they gave up 3 goals in against that Islander team. Right wing side, a shot sticked away by Gibson, and ooh, that hit the official up high. One of the referees took that puck. It was redirected, I believe. That is, I'll try and get the number. I believe that is Chad Ingalls. It is, and he's immediately being tended to by Brian Fairbrother, who is the head athletic trainer of the Hartford Wolfpack. So we'll keep an eye on this. Sean, last night we saw a couple of sequences in the second period with injuries. First, it was Hartford's Kerry Terrance, who took an elbow to the head from Bridgeport defender Luke Rowe. Ingalls back to his feet and gets a round of applause from the crowd. By the way, Luke Rowe has been suspended 2 games for his hit to the head of Kerry Terrance last night. It was a 5-minute elbowing major to game misconduct, but less than a minute later, Trey Fix-Wolanski was assessed a illegal check to the head penalty that ended his night. However, Fix-Wolanski, no supplemental discipline, and he is in the lineup tonight for the Wolfpack.
Good to see Chad Ingalls is okay there. Might have just been the shock of getting hit with the puck there. I mean, he was certainly out of the way.
Dorrington left wing point, trying to send it to the goal off the stick of Thompson. Picked up Lamb left wing side. Lamb to the line. Dorrington a shot. Save Gibson. Rebound. McConnell Barker couldn't get it to go. Great chance for Hartford early. Puck knocked off the stick of McConnell Barker. Out to center. And a huge hit from Dorrington. He hammered Brett Leeson in front of the Hartford bench. Well, last time these two teams met, Sam Bitton speared Dylan Garand, resulted in a suspension for Bitton. Hartford not shying away from the rough stuff as Gucciardi just got hammered by Walcott. Fitzgerald, the shot tipped wide by Walcott. Hartford, Sean, with some authority early in this hockey game. Ilya Protas picks it up, right wing side, goes backdoor, they score! Set up Andrew Crystal, his second goal in as many trips to Hartford, and on their first shot of the game, the Bears go ahead 1-0. No chance for Tung, Sean, on the setup by Protas.
Yeah, that puck came out of the opposing corner very hot, but it slowed down just past the Wolfpack bench. That's a perfect pass to Crystal there, who's having a great rookie year. Him and Protas in their own right are having great rookie seasons, but that's quite the response for Hershey after a couple strong opening shifts for Hartford. They were physical. I think that was Ryan Chesley that batted the puck into the corner as it got behind Gibson. A good defensive play on one end, and then moments later, Hershey breaks the ice on the other end.
So it is the Bears who break the ice for the second straight matchup between these two teams. It was Crystal who scored first here on March the 7th. The Wolfpack would end up winning that game 5-2. They scored the next 4 goals. And tonight, Hartford gives up the first goal just 1:16 in. Crystal from Protas and Leon Mugli, who gets his 5th assist of the year. Not much of a chance for Tung. Hartford an inspired start, but Protas sets up the icebreaker. And the Bears, in a game they need here tonight, take a 1-0 lead. I will say, Sean, trailing early for the second straight game, but this is very different than how last night opened up. Strome's side of the goal picked up by Parsonen. The Wolfpack had a decent start last night in the first couple of minutes, but they made life a little too easy for Bridgeport last night in the first period. Not the case here so far. Hartford's been engaged physically. They've come out swinging, no doubt about that, but give Hershey credit as they make the Wolfpack pay with a nice backdoor play.
Yeah, we saw some sustained momentum in that first period from Bridgeport yesterday, and Hartford looked well on their way to establishing that in the first minute and a half. 2 strong shifts to open the game, and it just goes to show you that margin of error I was talking about earlier. A shot rims all the way back out into the neutral zone. First one there is Protas, and then sets up the early goal.
Suzdalev down the left wing side. Bears trying to collect down low. That is Kupka. Tyler Kupka sends it in front. Sent back to the line for Corey Schuneman. His shot goes off Sonny Milano. Left wing side trying to shake off Ortiz. Kalle Väisänen on Milano, who plays it through the legs of Karpa. Suzdalev in the left wing corner, marked by Scott Morrow. Morrow able to come away with that puck on the right wing side for the Wolfpack. He'll take it up to the blue line, feed it to Walcott. He'll gain center and fire it into the Hershey zone. Go for the change. Just about 3 gone by in the opening frame. McConnell Barker pushed out to center, trying to re-enter. Had the puck knocked off his stick by Leeson. Now right wing side, Lamb walks in. A shot fought off by Gibson. And the puck is sent up into the netting, out of play with 3:05 gone by in the first period. So for me, Sean, if you're Grant Patolny, you got to like the jump your team had in the opening part of this hockey game. I think the important thing here for Hartford is, okay, now you got to stick with it, right? Now you've figured out, okay, physically, good start to this game, couple of chances early. You give them that first goal, but Hartford, I think, just needs to stick with what they're doing.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating to give up a goal that early, but like you mentioned, it's a lot to like about what they have done.
Leeson trying to get away from Dorrington, left wing side. The Bears are offside here.
It's good to see that after that goal, they got right back on it, back into the O-zone. Just 1 shot so far for Hershey, and it was the game's first goal there. But, I mean, we're not at a point in the season where you can dwell on moments like that early in the game. This is an important game for Hartford. Last couple have been ultra important. Hershey, of course, is a team that hasn't played up to their standard as of late. They're 2-7-0-1 in their last 10 heading into tonight. And I got quite the stat from Bears announcer right before this game. Just 3 division game wins in 23 tries in the new year. That was Zach Fish telling me that. Yeah, exactly.
And 3 of those losses have come against Hartford. 2 of them in extra time in Hershey, and then the regulation win is Robrick will play it down low. Right wing side has got Walcott going to the net. Up top, Fitzgerald, his shot looking for a deflection in front. Missed Walcott. Picked up on the wall by the Bears, and this is going to be moved up ahead by Ilya Protas out to center. Dylan Robrick, Louis Belpedio now carried in. Trenier have a shot. Gobbled up by Tung. He'll hang on for a whistle with 16:08 to go. So if you're just joining us, the Wolfpack tonight back to 11-7, and they're without forwards Justin Dowling and Kerry Durant, who have both been added to the injury report. Durant, we told you, took that elbow to the head last night from Luke Rowe. That gave Rowe a 2-game suspension. He's out with an upper body injury day to day. And Justin Dowling has been dealing with a lower body problem since late February. He's now week to week, and that's a big loss for Hartford. Dowling had 5 shots last night. When he's in the lineup, he's their top centerman. That's a big hole for Hartford, and they're without him now week to week with that lower body injury that has kept him out of the lineup here tonight. Bears right back in. Suzdalev right wing side. They lead 1-0. Keyshawn Dufresne and Alex Thomas. Turnover forced by Scott Morrow. Goes left to right into the Hershey zone. Morrow backdoor for Fix Wolanski. Backhanded toward the net. Where's the puck? It's to the side of the goal. Fix Wolanski being held down in the crease. Gibson not back up to his feet yet. Fix Wolanski was looking for a penalty call. Now the whistle goes. Gibson's lost his mask. He wants a call too. It was Leon Mugli who was all over Trey Fix-Wolanski in the blue paint. To our broadcast right, and quite frankly, nobody's content. Gibson's upset there wasn't a penalty, so isn't Fix-Wolanski, Sean.
Yeah, I think we're going to look at a replay here. I think Fix-Wolanski might be arguing that he was interfered with heading to the net, and that's what caused that collision with Gibson. Gibson throws his helmet and his blocker down, obviously not happy. And like you mentioned, I don't think anybody involved in that play is too pleased with how it ended up.
I don't think so.
But good chance the other way. Fix-Wolanski been one of the better players against Hershey this season. And he's just crashed in the net there. He looks like he might have gotten tied up with Mugli. And that led to the collision as his back ended up being to Gibson when they made contact. For now, Gibson's going to stay in the game.
Wolfpack are 10-22, 3-3 this season when surrendering the first goal. They surrendered it last night in that loss to Bridgeport. They were down 3-0 after 1. Did a really good job in the final 40, getting it to 3-2. And quite frankly, they threw everything but the kitchen sink at Henrik Tikkanen in the third period. Couldn't get that equalizer. And then Matthew Highmore, real high effort play to hit the empty netter. He's Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas. Hershey this season 22-10-4-3 when striking first, as they have here tonight. But they are 0-1-0-0 when scoring first in Hartford this year. Brandon Scanlon trying to shake off Dalton Smith, right wing side. Bryce McConnell-Barker, 11 goals in the year, career high for him, had his 11th last night. Takes a feed from Cooper Moore on the left wing side. McConnell-Barker able to get away from a defender. He has Aiden Thompson out in front, plays it up the side of the goal. It's jarred loose into the right wing corner. Corey Schueneman there for Hershey. On the left wing, Schueneman will swing this up into the Hartford zone. Volleyed back out to center and sent right back in by Grant Cruikshank, who had a short-handed tally last night in Hershey's loss in Springfield. It was a 4-2 defeat at the Mass Mutual Center, as the T-Birds moved 8 up on Hartford and 2 up on Lehigh Valley. Dick Smolanski's pass too far ahead of Karpa into the left wing circle. Trying to get it back to the blue line was Kale Väisänen. Väisänen working left wing side, gets it to Vic Smolanski. Vic Smolanski tied up by Louis Belpedio, then he took a shove. Now working in the corner is Väisänen. He is tied up down low by Henrik Rybinski, who's been a nice find for Washington, signing him out of Seattle in the Western League. He was drafted but not signed by Florida earlier in his career. This is Rybinski trying to feed Brett Leeson. Pass was off of Morrow. Picked up by Moore, and now Scott Morrow trying to rush left to right, up the left wing side. He'll take it across center. Morrow carries in, long shot, fought off Gibson. The rebound, Morrow couldn't get through two white jerseys. And the Bears able to collect inside of their own zone. It's Sam Bitton. It was Bitton who drew the ire of the Wolfpack when he speared Dylan Garand. As this is icing with 13:35 to go. Politely to put it, in an area where you don't want to be speared. We'll let you do the math at home.
Yeah. I did notice Bitton was thrown out there to start the game. I wonder if that was intentional as giving Hartford an opportunity to settle that right away. Ultimately, the gloves don't come off in that first shift there. It ends up being a good start for Hartford shortly before that goal from Hershey.
And despite there not being fisticuffs, there was still a real physical presence in the opening minute of this game for the Wolfpack.
That hit in front of the Wolfpack bench by Dorrington on Brett Leeson, who's a tough customer in his own right, certainly set the tone for, I think, how physical this one's going to end up.
I don't think Dorrington gets enough credit for how physical he can be.
I absolutely agree.
Mackey's shot was blocked out to center off of Leeson. Mackey D-to-D for Fitzgerald. He'll golf it into the Hershey zone behind Gibson. Shoot him in up the boards. Andrew Crystal trying to get it by Mackey, but kept in by Bleed. Sent down low, won't caught a shot, missed it by the glove of Gibson. Puck does not get out, went off of Robrick, now cleared out to center. Here's Protas right wing side, drops it for Trinyev, trying to find a trailer. Robrick using his reach, got it out to center, hauled down by Schueneman, no call. Sent toward the goal by Bleed, corralled by Gibson, and now Bleed and Leon Mugli going at it. Bleed ends up getting dumped into the net as Mugli and Bleed exchanged a couple of blows on their way to the goal. 7 even gone by in the opening frame tonight. Hartford, good start, out shooting Hershey 5-2. But the Bears strike first a minute and 16 seconds in. Andrew Crystal's 17th goal of his rookie season from Ilya Protas and Leon Mugli. It's Hershey 1, Hartford nothing. You're watching Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV, on Flow Hockey, and listening on Mixler.
College nights with the Packer back. College students will receive a ticket discount with a valid .edu email for select Pack games this season. All college night games placed on a Friday, which means that students can score $2 hot dogs and $2 drafts until the end of the first intermission, in addition to their ticket discount. Hockey Happy Hour, presented by Minuteman Press Hartford, is also back this season. To see the eligible dates, visit hartfordwolfpack.com/college. Score big this season with our CTDOT Family Value Packs. These packs include 3 tickets to a predetermined game, hot dogs, and 3 sodas. Need more than 3 tickets? We have you covered. Additional tickets can be added on at checkout. This way, everyone is included. Our pre-selected dates include game day fun such as pre-game autographs, post-game player events, giveaways, and more. Have your pack join our pack for a night full of excitement and fun. Tickets at hartfordwolfpack.com/CTDOTFVP.
This is Brett Berard, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth alongside Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas. Exactly 7 minutes gone by In tonight's opening period, the Hershey Bears leading by a score of 1-0 as the Wolfpack playing their third to last home game of the regular season. They will host Providence on Friday night, 7 o'clock. And they will be on the road for games against Springfield and Bridgeport. Should say fourth to last. They have that Wednesday night game against Bridgeport as well on the 15th. In addition, the Fan Appreciation Night here the 17th. Brodus up ahead for Andrew Crystal. Left wing side, he'll find Louis Belpedio. Belpedio scored in the third period last night, cut a 3-1 deficit to 3-2. Same score, but different way to get there last night for Hershey and Hartford, both on the road coming off defeats last night. Mackey gave it away deep in his own zone, but he's able to force the puck free. Juuso Parssinen off the skates of Fix Molansky. Ilya Brodus left wing side. Gucciardi had it knocked away by Fix Molansky. Brisson couldn't get it out. Belpedio trying to play it down low, broke it up Mackey. Puck sent in front by Crystal, didn't reach the goal. Brodus looking for Trinyev, goes off of Fitzgerald and wide. So Leon Mugli will no longer get an assist on that goal by Andrew Crystal, who sends the puck into the left wing corner. Bogdan Trinyev now giving the assist, his 25th of the year and 38th point. So it's Crystal from Brodus and Trinyev, time of the goal 116. Puck off the stick of Fitzgerald, came to Tong, who didn't have it covered initially. Sonny Milano got a poke, but the rookie goaltender able to find it with 11:49 to play.
Close call there for Tong, who hasn't seen a ton so far in this game. I mean, it's hard to fault him on that 2-on-1 goal very early on in the game.
Yeah, I don't think he had a chance on that.
And I think on the Hartford side, offensively, I know we're talking about they're getting some good chances. This top pair defensively of Corey Schoeneman and Ryan Chesley, they each have integral plays defensively in this period. Chesley bats a puck away that gets behind Gibson, and then Schoeneman able to get a stick on that shot from Daniel Walcott, who was all alone in the high slot. That's been the difference.
Nice bit of business for the Bears early in the season this year, getting Schoeneman and Sam Bitton from Springfield. Calle Rosen going the other way. It was Rosen for Schoeneman, 1-for-1 between Washington and St. Louis, then Bitton coming over for future considerations in an AHL deal between Springfield and Hershey, but all the same transaction essentially. That happened early in the season, back in November. Suzdalev tried to leave it right wing side, picked up by Thompson, but he gave it away to Milano. Knocked off his stick by Dorrington. Left wing side, Aiden Thompson into the Hershey zone. Thompson pulls up, doesn't have a shooting lane, tried to play it back to Dorrington, but it got by him and all the way into the Hartford zone, where the rookie blue liner out of Northeastern will pick things up. Dorrington up ahead, right wing side for Scott Morrow, finds Robrick into the Hershey zone, shot off the stick of Schoeneman and wide. Bleed, Robrick, his shot hit the goal post. He beat Gibson by the glove, but kissed a little bit of iron. As now Walcott works it down low, dug free by Robrick, who's had a good first period tonight. Puck will come to Dalton Smith, left wing side. He'll chip it across center. But this is going to be icing with 10:46 to go. So we didn't gain center ice, a little too much underneath the dump in. But Dylan Robrick, who had 2 goals in Charlotte earlier this season, I don't want to say this month, we're into April now, so middle of March, he had 2 goals, March 18th in Charlotte, and he's found his stride a little bit since then, chasing the 20 goals he had last year. He's at 11 right now. That's a heck of a shot, Sean. He's got a weapon in his shot.
Absolutely, and I know it's a small sample size, but they might have something here with this trio alongside Bleed and Walcott. They've been in the O-zone every time they've been out there so far this period. Walcott, a nice try earlier in the period. We've seen Bleed crashing the net, creating some chaos. That's certainly a line to keep an eye out on.
Well, Bleed and Walcott, similar players in the sense where they're physical, they're both leaders, they're both vocal, they're emotional players, and mean that in a good way. They play a similar style. Ortiz gave it away. Strome, right wing side, walks in. Strome shoots, and he hit the goal post. He beat Tong by the glove, but Matt Strome kissed the iron as well, and it remains 1-0. Strome trying to play it out in front. Pinball off a couple of legs, came to Brisson. Picks Wolansky left to right across center, dumps it on the Gibson. He'll shovel it into the left wing corner. Brett Leeson up to the blue line, drifts out to center. Morrow, D-to-D for Moore. Up ahead, right wing side for McConnell Barker, but the Wolfpack are offside with 10:01 to play in the period. So each side with a goal post in the opening 10 minutes of this game, Sean. And that time it was off a turnover. Ortiz gave it away, and Matt Strome, who's got one of the more important goals in Hershey Bear history in recent memory, hits the iron.
Absolutely. And, Ortiz had the right idea, full head of steam, head was up. He had a man that he was going to lead in the neutral zone. He just didn't get enough on it. Leads to a dangerous chance the other way. Wolfpack have to clean it up a little bit, clearing out of the zone. I think they try drop passes. They don't realize that there's still an opposing forward deep in the zone there. But a couple intercepted passes in the neutral zone so far.
Sent down the left wing by Sam Bitton. Henrik Grabinski digs it free away from McConnell Barker. Shot in tight and a save by Tung. On the bid in close by Brett Leeson, the veteran. Spent last year in the NHL with Anaheim. Second tour here with Hershey. Denied by Callum Tung in close with 9:45 to go in the opening period here tonight. It's Hershey 1, Hartford nothing. From People's Bank Arena in downtown Hartford, you're watching Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV, on Flow Hockey, and listening on Mixler.
Plus 9 of your besties, family members, teammates, co-workers, whoever equals 10. 10 people gets you discounted Wolfpack tickets. We also offer a variety of experiences for groups. Whether your team wants to play on the same ice as the Wolfpack pregame, watch warm-ups from the bench, or perform at the intermission, we have options for everyone. Learn more by visiting hartfordwolfpack.com/group-interest-form or by calling 860-248-2000. This fan favorite returns every Friday night for the 2025-26 season. $2 drafts and $2 hot dogs. Don't wait too long. This promotion ends at the end of the first intermission every Friday night. Can we count you in to help us beat last year's consumed hot dog number? Tickets at hartfordwolfpack.com/tickets.
Hi, I'm Anton Lead, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
9:45 to go in the opening period here tonight, alongside Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas. Shots on goal 7-5 in favor of the Hartford Wolfpack, but it's 1-0 Hershey on an Andrew Crystal goal, 1:16 in. And got been a good response here for the Wolfpack after a disappointing result last night, despite a good final 40, Sean.
Yeah, it's just another instance this season. We've seen a couple of those games where they don't get to the start that they want, and they start to chip away later on in the game, and it ends up not being enough. But can't say that the effort hasn't been there in most of those outings.
Played up the left wing side, Bitton. The Wolfpack were not happy with their first period last night. Just a lot of uncharacteristic issues. Some lackadaisical coverage, and the Wolfpack able to bounce back, and I thought played one of their better 40-minute segments of the season last night. Just wasn't enough. Down 3-0. Brody Lamb will take it up top in the offensive zone, try to send it to the goal. Was blocked by Belpedio. Picked up Robrick, left wing side. Dylan Robrick, he's hauled down, looking for a call, none forthcoming. Thompson around the boards into the right wing corner. Fitzgerald and Bitton chasing after it. Robrick was knocked off the puck, and now some pushing and shoving in the right wing corner. And we are going to get a penalty, it looks like in close, as it was Henrik Grabinski and Dylan Robrick going at it with 8:55 to go, and Robrick's going to go. I don't love that, Sean, because it looked like Robrick drew a penalty. There was no call. Then the shift goes on, and Robrick ends up taking a penalty. And Hershey's going to get the first power play of this game. The Wolfpack a little frustrated with that, but...
Oh, I see the doors open.
Oh, yeah,
for
now
Hershey.
It is open. What if they're taking both? If they are, Rubinski would go.
Rubinski on the bench still for now.
Well, looking, one of the linesmen, I believe that is Kevin Berganti's pointing to the right of Gibson. So now Rubinski's been taken off the Hershey bench, and he's going to go. I was going to say, I mean,
looking
that
at the
felt
replay,
like
that was a 50-50 little joust there for a minute. I mean, you can argue who initiated it, but it's the fact that both of them continued it. I think oftentimes the officials will let one or two shots go as long as you rejoin the play. They got into it a little too much for the officials' liking.
Wolfpack played over 6 minutes of 4-on-4 time last night in Bridgeport. Remember, Rowe's 5-minute major was followed up less than a minute later by Fix Wolanski's major, so it was 4+ minutes there. And then there was another sequence later in the period where there were penalties after the whistle that resulted in another 4-on-4, so over 6 minutes of 4-on-4 last time. Fitzgerald shot from the left wing side, ramps up a stick and out of play. Wolfpack going with Juuso Parssinen, Trey Fix-Wolanski up front, Mackey and Fitzgerald in the blue line. It is Dylan Robrick, Henrik Grabinski, 2 each for roughing. Time of the penalties, 11:05. So we'll play 4-on-4 here. Protas, who has been Hershey's MVP this season, out there with Grant Cruikshank up front. On the face-off, laid over to the left wing boards. It will bounce to Mugli, who's trying to feed John McDonald. Couldn't get it out. Protas Down low, Fix Molansky tumbles down to the ice. Protas moves it up left wing side. Moogly will exit right to left across center. Leon Moogly ditches it over left wing. This is McDonald. Down low trying to connect with Moogly. Back up the boards right wing side. Off the wall, Protas picks it up. Ilya Protas got around Parsonen. Has a man. Suzdalev, Trenyev. Shot save made by Tung. Got it with the right pad. Here's Connor Mackey out to center. He'll drift to the right wing side. Mackey back into his own zone for Casey Fitzgerald, who settles. Gets it to McConnell Barker, left to right. Throws back inside of his own zone, down to the final 107 of the 4-on-4. It is Brisson, McConnell Barker, Morrow, and Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald will leave it for Morrow, left to right into the Hershey zone. Left wing side, McConnell Barker was spun off the puck but stayed with it. Got it around Leeson and deep into the Hershey end. He's Sean Dufresne. I'm Alex Thomas on a Saturday night in Hartford. Wolfpack 8 back of a playoff spot in desperate need of points tonight. Chesley on the left wing side drops it for Milano as Leeson out in front. Milano takes it for a ride. Right wing circle, cross the ice. This is Ryan Chesley, holds, waits, doesn't shoot. Now gets it to Corey Schudeman. Down low, Milano in front, tap wide by Chesley. Milano backdoor for Chesley off the heel of his stick and into the left wing corner. Chesley picks it up, gets it to Leeson. One more Milano, back to Leeson. He pushed it wide with a blocker of Tung. Leeson gets it back, trying to center it, went off Dorrington. Into the right wing corner, Leeson. Now Milano gets it to the line, Schuneman. Left wing for Chesley, all Hershey here. Leeson, left wing circle, 5 seconds of 4-on-4 time left. Trying to feed it down low for Schuneman, went off his stick into the right wing corner. Brisson trying to vacate the zone, he cannot. Gave it away Leeson, back to 5-on-5. Dorrington will pick it up with 6:47 to go. And a really good final 40 seconds for Hershey. Sean, 4-on-4. Walcott has Robrick. He shoots, went off of Gibson and up and out of play with 6:36 to go. But a really good job there by the Bears, Sean, at the end of that 4-on-4 sequence.
Yeah, it felt like early on both teams were trying to stretch the ice a little bit. Of course, 4-on-4, some more ice to work with. Pretty even at that point, but like you said, the final 40, it started looking like a power play there for Hershey. I think Hartford's fortunate that Leeson pushed that one wide, as that was a nifty setup feed by Sonny Milano. Hartford catches a break there, but seeing they've started to even out the shot total there. It's now 7-6, a slight edge for Hartford, but I think Hartford's fortunate they're not down 2 there, because that was a pressing 40 seconds by the Bears.
Milano, a big addition for this team coming down from Washington after clearing waivers. And the Wolfpack, during their 2 playoff runs a couple of seasons ago, had some guys like that. Ryan Carpenter comes to mind, who came down and came in with a good attitude and were big factors to the Wolfpack down the stretch and in the postseason. Can Sonny Milano be that? He certainly has been to this point for a Hershey team in need of some game-breaking talent up top. Right wing side, Brisson, pass out of the reach of Juuso Parsonen in the left wing corner. Picked up by Milano, he'll pull up and feed a man Gucciardi into the Hartford zone. His shot off Fitzgerald, dribbles wide. Picked up by Mackey in front of his own goal with under 6 to play in the period. Brisson trying to feed a row break, that's off the mark and all the way down the ice. This will be icing against the Wolfpack with 5:53 to play in period number 1.
And you mentioned moments ago, Sonny Milano potentially being a game breaker for Hershey if they are able to make the playoffs. Obviously, they're trying to get back to that brand of hockey that we've known all too well these last couple of years. And I mean, just on that 4-on-4, you see how unpredictable he can be there. As it looked like he had a sure shooting lane before he just sets up a nifty backhand pass for Leeson. Just ends up pushing that one wide.
Milano spent all of last season in the NHL with Washington. He's played in 14 games with 13 points for Hershey this year. Did not play in that game on March the 7th. He was under the weather. Ivan Miroshnichenko did not play in that game either. He had just been called up. Crystal left wing side, a shot off the stick of Moogly. Goes into the right wing corner, picked up Protas to the goal. Backdoor tapped home by Crystal. They score. 2-0 Hershey. A beautiful backdoor tap in from Andrew Crystal. The Bears top line strikes again. It's 2-0 Hershey. The rookies got a pair.
Crystal just continues to have his way with the Wolfpack this year, as that ends up being what looks like a seeing eye shot at first, but you see that Crystal is right at the net. I mean, the wherewithal just to wire that one on net.
Well, that's how good Protas has been.
Yeah, I mean that one just catches everybody off guard on the Wolfpack side, and Hershey's been pressing these last couple of shifts here. It felt like that was slowly building to something like that happening. Hartford has dug themselves a 2-goal deficit here after a really good start to this game. Got to find your way back into that mentality here.
Yeah, the Wolfpack, as you mentioned, had a good start to this game, but the Bears have weathered the storm, Sean, and feels like they have controlled territorially the last little bit.
That 4-on-4 ended up really being the difference.
Yeah, that changed a little bit of momentum. It was starting to lean before that, but that 4-on-4 has put the Wolfpack on their heels as Cooper Moore can't hold the blue line, and here comes Strome the other way, right wing side. Strome will pull up, trying to find a trailer. Nice pass. Cruikshank shot kicked away by the right pad of Callum Tongue. Cruikshank worked on by Walcott, under 5 to go in the period. Puck is poked up to the blue line. Gucciardi creates a little bit of space. His shot off a stick and out of play with 4:51 to go. 2 goals for Andrew Crystal, 2 assists for Ilya Protas. The rookies making it happen for the Hershey Bears, who are in dire need of 2 points. They lead the Hartford Wolfpack 2-0, 4:51 to go in the first period here tonight at People's Bank Arena. You're watching Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV, on Flow Hockey, and listening alongside on Mixler.
Looking for the best of Connecticut? From hidden gems and local businesses to events, food, and experiences, Finding Connecticut brings the Nutmeg State together in one place. Explore curated guides, discover new restaurants, and stay connected with what's happening across every corner of our state. Whether you're planning your weekend or just want to support local, start your journey today at findingconnecticut.com. Your guide to everything Connecticut. Show your Connecticut pride with the exclusive collections from Finding Connecticut Shop. Rep your hometown with our Just a Kid From series. Or celebrate local history with vintage designs inspired by the Merritt Parkway and the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Plus, enjoy free U.S. shipping on every order. Perfect for gifts, perfect for you. Shop now at shop.findingconnecticut.com.
Hi, this is Blake Hillman, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
2-0 Hershey is your score. 4:51 to go here in the first period. And the Bears, Sean, after a good start for the Wolfpack, have calmed things down and have begun to tilt the ice a little bit in their favor here.
I think you said it best before that 4-on-4. It felt like they were starting to tilt the ice a little bit, gaining some momentum, and that 4-on-4 really just freed them up a little bit, allowed them to stretch the ice.
Sue's 11, the backdoor feed from Milano. Played over to the left wing side, Gucciardi. Gucciardi out of the reach of Väisänen, off the stick of Brisson. Belpedio hopped over Dorrington, picked up by Milano, knocked off the puck by Dorrington. Gucciardi right wing side, Belpedio. The shot from Gucciardi from the left wing goes wide. Sue's 11, the feed from Milano. Trying to play it back to him, but it's picked off by Scott Morrow, and the Wolfpack will try to vacate the zone. Pass for Väisänen too far, and this will be icing with 4:15 to go here in the first period. So the Wolfpack a multi-goal deficit in the opening frame for the second straight day. Down 3-0 last night, 2-0 today, but two very different first periods. That first period last night, we said it on the air, was not good enough, and Hartford was way better in the final 40. This is a different kind of deficit, two really well executed plays. Hartford's not giving anything easy up right now. Hershey's making plays, Sean, but the Wolfpack are staying within their system and playing with some urgency here. It's not for a lack of urgency or making things easy that Hershey's leading this game.
No, those are, like you said, two well-executed goals by Hershey. They're able to just find those gaps in the ice.
Oh, look out. Dorrington tumbled down. Leeson walks in, shoots, and missed it by the glove of Tongue. McDonald unable to maintain. Bad luck for Dorrington, who tumbled down to the ice. Scanlon trying to move it out right wing side. He gets it to center. Brody Lamb will skate up left to right into the Hershey zone. Fires a shot kicked away by the right pad of Gibson. McConnell Barker up the boards. Right wing side waiting is Scanlon. Scanlon shot in the traffic, glove down by Gibson. He'll hang on for a whistle. McConnell Barker nearby, 3:29 to go in the period. Very rare, Sean, you see a goalie go back-to-back nights in the American League. Dylan Garand did it for Hartford the 17th and 18th of March, picked up 2 wins. Gibson started last night in the 4-2 loss for Hershey. Starts here tonight. They're without Clay Stevenson, who's hurt, and Garen Bjorklund has had some struggles here this year, including in this building in March.
I think it just shows the Hershey staff has a lot of trust in Gibson, where maybe some of those goals that they let up last night, they didn't really fault the goaltender for it, and they wanted to give him another crack at it against a team that has had their way against them this season, but they put out a good first period here.
And that's another sidebar to this game as well, as Hartford's won all 3 in this season series so far. The Bears obviously not happy with that, and they know they need 2 points tonight. They're 5th place in the Atlantic Division. Right now, they would be playing Bridgeport in the opening round, and Bridgeport would have home ice as the number 4 seed. What a turnaround for Rocky Thompson's Islanders. This is Anton Bleed in front, Walcott, and a save by Gibson. Chipped toward the goal by Walcott. Now Fitzgerald, the shot knocked down by Schuneman off the left wing boards and out to center. Good setup by Bleed from behind the net. Mackey nearly gave it away to Protis, but Fitzgerald able to recover, got it to Parsonen. You said it earlier in the period, Sean, that duo, Walcott and Bleed, has been doing good things early in this game, and they nearly set up Hartford's first goal tonight.
And you add Robrick to the mix there. That size, working hard along the boards there. He's able to keep the play going behind the net. Walcott's had two good chances tonight, sorry.
Gucciardi dances in, a shot, floats it up into the netting, out of play with 10-11 to go in the first period. Yeah, I thought Walcott has had good jump here in this first period tonight. And Bleed as well. I thought Bleed was one of the more physical players in the second and third period last night for Hartford, and was one of the guys trying to change the tone of that game, and both he and Walcott have been involved early. And that's what they can do. They can set the tone for a team, and I think that might be one of the, and I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him about it, but might be one of the reasons why Grant Bertoldi put them together with a big centerman who's got a good shot, Dylan Robrick.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple times this period where they've needed a spark, and I think that line has provided it for them.
Scott Morrow, right wing side, trying to shake off Milano. Will take it up to the blue line. Dance left to right into the Hershey zone. Morrow activates into the play. McConnell Barker shoveled it wide, came in front. McConnell Barker now on the left wing. He's got Lamb at the bottom of the circle. He's trying to shake off a defender. This is McConnell Barker, left wing side of the line. Dorrington, shot in the traffic, hit a body, never reached the goal. Now Morrow turns and fires, blocked by Palpinio. Sent up ahead for Sonny Milano. A breakaway, he's in. Saved by Tongue. Milano went to the backhand. Tongue said no. Now the right wing, it's Lamb. He'll dump it into the Hershey zone. McDonald knocked off the puck by Lamb, who wanted to wrap it around, but he was bumped off and couldn't get it on the Gibson. Suzdalev across center will fire it in. Mark that save by rookie Callum Tongue if the Wolfpack can get back. Leeson shot from the right wing circle, saved by Tongue. Rubinski buzzing the tower out in front. McConnell Barker will swing it out to center, bouncing puck, Moogly chasing. Walcott takes it away from him, left it on the right wing boards. Moogly picks it up, out to center. Off Scanlon came the Robrick. Final minute of period number 1. Moogly at center ice will fire it into the Hartford zone. Chris Ortiz picks it up. Leeson pressuring him. Ortiz able to get by Leeson and Big Sam Bitten. Right wing side, Ortiz chips it up ahead. Bleed chipped it around Schuneman into the right wing corner. Schuneman takes a hit from Bleed. Knocked down by Leeson. Now Walcott on him. Bleed right wing corner, couldn't get it by Schuneman. Puck comes back to Schuneman left wing side. Half a minute to go in the period. Golfed out to center, knocked down by Rubinski. Pass out of the reach of Bitten into the right wing corner of the Hartford zone. Mackey, Walcott, he'll leave it Robrick. Fires it into the right wing corner to the Hershey end, but Robrick didn't gain center. And a bit of an unforced error there by the second year center of the Wolfpack. Sean will gift Hershey an O-zone draw with 18.1 seconds to go.
I want to go back to that save from Callum Tongue on the breakaway a few minutes ago. I think if you had to pick a player on Hershey to be in that situation, an odd man rush like that, I feel like coaching staff would probably pick Milano as one of their first options. I mean, he's
I would agree.
A bit of a magician at times with the moves that he could pull out. He opts to go to the backhand there. Tongue doesn't bite, follows him the whole way, gets a piece of his glove. I mean, that's certainly 18 seconds here, a D-zone draw for Hartford, but could be a point in the game to look back to depending on how this next 40 goes.
Shots are 10 apiece, but Hershey leads 2-0 and a pair of goals by rookie Andrew Crystal. Tell you what, he and Ilya Protis are going to be near the top of the Rookie of the Year conversations. Bakersfield's Quinn Hudson will be up in that area as well. Hard to find a more impactful rookie than Ilya Protis, though. Shot blocked, then chipped to the goal by Crystal, looking for a first period hat-trick. Trinyev couldn't get it to the goal. Puck hopped over the stick of Chesley. Trinyev at the line, fires, missed it by the right shoulder of Tongue, picked up by Walcott, and that'll do it. Period number 1 will come to an end here at People's Bank Arena in Hartford with the side splitting, 20 shots on goal unofficially, even 10 apiece. But it's Andrew Crystal with 3 goals in 4 periods in this building this season, 2 in the first period. And for the second straight night, Sean, the Wolfpack find themselves trailing by multi-goals after one. Last night it was 3-0, tonight 2-0. But I know I've said this already. It bears repeating, though. Last night and tonight feel very different. Last night, Hartford made life too easy for Bridgeport. There were too many mistakes in the D zone last night. For me, it was plays that if Hartford was a little harder in the D zone, probably don't happen. Not the case tonight. Those are two really well executed plays. I liked Hartford's jump early. I thought the Wolfpack were physical tonight from the get-go. I thought Hartford did some good things in the first period, but you got to tip your cap to Hershey. They make two high-skilled plays, and it's an impact rookie in Andrew Crystal, who has taken this division by storm in year number one, closing in on a 20-goal campaign.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that they just flat out didn't have it in the first period yesterday against Bridgeport, and you got to tip the cap to them. They didn't just let that game roll away. They made it interesting towards the end, but yeah, I think it's a tale of two different periods, albeit still being down by multiple goals after one in back-to-back nights. I like their jump right from the get-go. They had some good chances. It's a stinger letting up an early one, that Crystal goal there, as Hartford had been in the O-zone for the bulk of the game at that point. And that second goal as well. I mean, him and Protas, a heck of a duo so far this season. I'm sure both of them are going to be on the Capitals very soon, the way they've been playing. But there's a lot of hockey left to work with. I know I've said that a gazillion times this season, but you know, I think you and I can agree that there's a lot of areas in Hartford's game in that first period that were positive ones. And I think, you know, they might have let it get away from them a little bit in the final minutes there. Hershey, probably, I think Hartford benefits more from the intermission than Hershey does.
I would agree.
They were pressing late there, but all in all, still some positives to draw into this next couple of periods.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I would say from a Hartford standpoint, obviously a good start, but they didn't do enough in the offensive zone, I thought, in the final 8 to 10 minutes of that period. And it goes back to what Grant Patolny told me yesterday pregame. He said, you know, we did a lot of good things defensively here in Charlotte. We didn't do enough on the right end of the blue line. We didn't do enough to create against Cooper Black and Louis Domingue. We need to do more this weekend. And look, I think early in this game, he's going to like what he saw. I think later in the period, Hershey able to get the momentum. They hemmed Hartford in a couple of times. Wolfpack just got to calm things down, I think, here, Sean, in the final 40 minutes. Make the simple, connected play. We've said it a million times, but since mid-January, when Hartford played probably their best stretch of hockey this season in mid-January, that's the game Patolny preached. Is it's a repeatable game, a sustainable game, if you can play a smart, connected game out of your zone through the neutral zone. Hartford did that early, not so much later in the period here in the opening frame tonight. I think that's the big area they're going to have to correct moving forward. But obviously, it's a tough hole, down 2-0 after one, as the Wolfpack have struggled scoring goals this year, Sean. They're last in the Eastern Conference in goals for, 29th in the league. It hasn't been a strong suit. Now they're chasing a game.
Yeah, and I think it's a completely different game if Sonny Milano is able to get one by tongue on the breakaway. That save has given Hartford life going into this first intermission. This game is still within reach, and I think that there's a lot that they can carry over from that first period that could potentially deliver some better results here.
Well, yeah, and if that goes in, it's 3-0, and that's a very different story. You're probably feeling a little defeated if you're Hartford, where, man, you know, came out and did things better tonight, and it's still the same result as last night.
Exactly.
It gives you a little bit of momentum late in the period to get a big play like that from your goaltender. I do agree with that. All right, busy night in the American Hockey League. A lot of clinching scenarios. There were afternoon games. There were night games. A lot going on. So Sean will take you around the AHL with our scoreboard check.
That's just about everything you could ask for and more. We've got a couple of games that have gone final, so we're going to start with those. We'll start with a shootout win for the Laval Rocket, who welcomed the Western Conference's Calgary Wranglers to Place Belle. Florian Jacquet with a goal in the game that had tied it up. He also gets the shootout game winner as well for Laval. 4-3, your final score in Laval, Quebec. Our other final score to report, the Grand Rapids Griffins, a statement win on the road at the Canada Life Centre against the Manitoba Moose. 7-2 is your final score. Sheldon Dry striking with just 3 seconds left in the first period. Proved to be a bit of a difference maker as they pulled away in that second period. Got another game that's gone final here just moments ago. The Charlotte Checkers, a statement win of their own on the road at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. 5-1 win over the Toronto Marlies. Alex Nylander's strike late in the third period prevents them from getting shut out. But 5 different goal scorers for Charlotte, who are certainly clicking at a very important time of the year. Down at the Tech CU Arena in San Jose, California, it's the Barracuda and the Colorado Eagles squaring off. Both teams have scored 1 goal in the first period, and 2:18 is left on the clock in that first frame. Through one period of play in Utica, it's the Comets welcoming the Belleville Senators in a North Division bout inside the Adirondack Bank Center. We are still scoreless through one period. A game Hartford will certainly be watching tonight. Springfield Thunderbirds at the Mass Mutual Center, fresh off their win last night against the Hershey Bears, welcome a strong North Division opponent tonight in the Syracuse Crunch. And Alex Kaskamaki has the lone goal in this one, 10:34 into the first period, 30 seconds left in that first period.
For those keeping track at home, how Hartford's situation works right now is they're 8 points out of a playoff spot. They can't mathematically be eliminated this weekend. That's not possible. But if the Thunderbirds win tonight and Hartford loses tonight in regulation, the Wolfpack would be 10 points out with 6 games to go, meaning it would come down the next Friday. If Springfield were to beat Rochester next Friday night, it would eliminate Hartford, or if the Wolfpack were to lose in regulation time against Providence. So just goes to show that the margin for error has become increasingly thin here for the Wolfpack. Give a lot of credit, though, Sean, to this Springfield team that had a nightmare start to the season, has undergone a lot of player personnel changes, even undergone a change behind the bench. They looked dead in the water when you and I saw them in November and December. I give them a lot of credit where they're now the team in control for the number 6 seed.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I mean, they really turned things around. It felt like you just mentioned, dead in the water. It felt like they were certainly out of it, but what a turnaround they've had. A lot of roster turnover for them this year, and right now it looks like it's paying dividends. The Providence Bruins could clinch the Atlantic Division title tonight. They certainly control their own destiny in that regard. Against the Rochester Americans, they'll try and do it on the road tonight. 1-1 is your score in this game with 5:18 to go in the second period. They can also clinch if they pick up at least 1 point. And then the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins don't beat the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. That game starts a little bit later. We'll talk about that in a second. We've got some games yet to begin tonight. The 7 p.m. puck drop at the Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio sees the Monsters welcome the Milwaukee Admirals. The aforementioned Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Penguins are at the PPL Center in Allentown tonight to take on the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. That'll be a 7:05 puck drop. Then at the BMO Center, the Rockford Ice Hogs take on the visiting Iowa Wild. That'll be at 8 p.m. A couple other 8 p.m. puck drops, including the Chicago Wolves in Cedar Park, Texas, to take on the Texas Stars at the HEB Center. Then at the Lee's Family Forum, we have the Henderson Silver Knights welcoming the Tucson Roadrunners to Nevada. 2 more puck drops here tonight. The Bakersfield Condors in Ontario tonight take on the Reign. That'll be at 9 p.m. at Toyota Arena. And wrapping us up on the West Coast, the Abbotsford Canucks in the nightcap game take on the visiting Coachella Valley Firebirds.
Here in Hartford, the Wolfpack with a little bit of jump early in this game, but it's 2 goals from rookie forward Andrew Crystal that have the Bears leading 2-0 after 1 tonight. Still, the Cubs, Sean, will take you around the National Hockey League, including the pairing New York Rangers today. They got more Wolfpack contributions at the Garden. They're hot right now. 4 wins in 5 games on this 7-game homestand. Sean will tell you about that, and we'll set the table for tomorrow night's matchup with Hershey's parent club, the Washington Capitals. We'll recap the first period and get you set for period number 2. But first, let's go down to the Wolfpack locker room where Sean caught up with Wolfpack blue liner Connor Mackey pregame tonight.
Connor, appreciate you joining us. We're a couple hours from puck drop here, season series finale against the Hershey Bears, and tonight's a Hershey team you guys have gotten the better of in your previous 3 meetings, 2 OT wins in January, a win here at home a month ago. What have you been liking from your group in this season series?
Yeah, I think we match up well against them. It's been some competitive games, some spirited games as well, but I think just getting on the forecheck against these guys, having their D turn the puck over, and getting that first one early. I think the last couple of games we played these guys, we've got out to an early lead, and I think that's just built confidence in our group.
And last night's loss against Bridgeport, felt like you guys had the better of the play in the final 40. So heading into tonight's contest, especially in the first period, what are you looking for from your group to try and push the pace early?
Just coming out the gates early, like you said. Yeah, just we liked our second and third, but going down and kind of having a sleepy first period, ended up costing us. So I think that's the message, from the staff today, just coming out the gate strong and trying to get that first one, get the crowd into it.
Sure. And, how important is it to stay as present as possible amidst this playoff push, just about 7 games left on the calendar?
Yeah, super important. Obviously we are where we are in the standings, but as cliche it is, we got to take it 1 game at a time and just focus on getting the 2 points tonight.
We're expecting to see Callum Tung get the nod tonight in net, and he's coming off a great outing last weekend. He helped you guys bank a point in that loss against Charlotte. And what's it been like to watch him develop over the course of the season?
It's been good, yeah. He's been a true professional. Anytime he's up with us, he's a great kid. And, we got confidence in him, in our group. So I know he's going to bring it tonight for us, and we're excited to play in front of him.
And Tung's not the only rookie that's turned heads this season for the Wolfpack. There's been some notable outings from some of the first-year players on the team who Wolfpack have a plethora of. And as part of the leadership group, what can you say about what you've been seeing development-wise from some of these young players?
Yeah, I think just, everyone's taking steps, right? I think that's the goal is now we're playing hockey in April, and, to be a different player than you were in October and November. So, it hasn't been... It's a season of ups and downs, but the progression from all the guys, not just the rookies, but I think everyone, you see on the ice, and we're definitely, it shows in our play. I think we're more of a structured team, and just guys contributing. It's all positive stuff.
Thank you, Connor. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
The Pack is back at their newly renovated home for the 2025-26 season. Join us at the newly transformed People's Bank Arena to see what the hype is all about. The season lineup features new theme nights, new giveaway items, new specialty jerseys, and new lower bowl seats. Newly renovated home, same hard-hitting, exciting action all season long. Don't miss a minute of the excitement in the heartbeat of Connecticut. Tickets at hartfordwolfpack.com/tickets. Looking for a way to join the fun all season long? Whether you are a diehard hockey fan or someone looking to do something on the weekends, Wolfpack ticket memberships have something for everyone. You can pick your games, attend exclusive events, receive exclusive parking and food discounts, and more. Don't miss out on your chance to join the excitement from the newly renovated People's Bank Arena. Learn more by visiting hartfordwolfpack.com/memberships or by calling 860-722-9425.
Hi, this is Connor Mackey, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
15 games of the National Hockey League tonight, so we're not going to waste any time, and we'll start with our games that have gone final, including one that you were at, partner. 4-1, the parent club Rangers knocking off the Detroit Red Wings, a Red Wings team that's well within the hunt for an Eastern Conference wildcard spot. And it's a lot of former Wolfpack players, well, some guys that have suited up for Hartford this season that made the key contributions, especially Gabe Perreault, a hat trick for the rookie.
Yeah, natural hat trick for Perreault, and it was a really, really pretty setup on his second goal, the power play goal. Johnny Brodzinski set up with a drive down the right wing side. Yaroslav Hamilash had a goal, and I had to laugh because he almost got taken out by Adam Sikora, who won the puck battle in the right wing corner and got it to Gavrikov. So it's nice to see these young players making contributions for the Rangers down the stretch. And, like Dave Sturman and I talked about on the radio broadcast this afternoon at the Garden, Sean, this is an opportunity here for guys like Hamilash and Sikora to really start auditioning for roster spots next year. Training camp's almost begun for them already. They can't treat it like it's just the end of the season and they're playing out the string. They've got to treat this as if they're trying to make the team next year, and I think they've both put forth some pretty good efforts. And in a nice win today for the Rangers, who are 4-1-0 on this 7-game homestand. Talked to Johnny Brodzinski after the game today, and he said it's important to this team to give the fans something here late in the season at home. It's an area that they have emphasized. He said that to us post-game tonight, and I think they've done a pretty good job of that here during this homestand with a nice win here this afternoon. And, sure, for the Rangers, it might not mean anything in the standings. That's a big loss for Detroit because they were in a four-way tie for a wild card spot. And how about this, Sean? That win clinches Tampa Bay a playoff spot, but also Buffalo, and the longest streak in NHL history is now over.
I know. I mean, it's awesome. I feel for the Sabres fans. I mean, they've had some good teams over the years that stuff has gone wrong midway through the year, and they haven't made that crossover, but they could go from not making the playoffs for 15 years to potentially hosting all the way through, which is pretty crazy to think about. But yeah, primary assist for Brodzinski, like you mentioned, hat trick for Perreault, and some meaningful minutes for some of these younger players like Hamilash and Sikora. It's great to see, and I like the way you put that, an audition for next year, as it certainly is underway at this point in the season. Got some other games to run through. Another game with Eastern Conference wild card implications. The Ottawa Senators needed a win in the worst way. The Minnesota Wild came to town and knocked them off by a score of 4-1. It was Jonas Brodin getting the party started. The eventual game winner comes from Ryan Hartman, who had 2 goals in that game. The Avalanche blanked the Stars 2-0 this game in Dallas, a convincing win, one of the top teams in the Western Conference. 2 games currently underway. Second intermission in Tampa, Florida, between the Bruins and the Lightning. It's the road team Bruins with the lone goal in this game, 1-0 the score, courtesy of Casey Middlestat. Now, how about this? 8-2. The Penguins lead the Florida Panthers through 2 periods of play. It has been all Pittsburgh, who have had quite the season unexpectedly, as they comfortably look like they're on their way to locking up playoff position in their own right. We've got a plethora of 7 p.m. puck drops to run through as well. The Montreal Canadiens in New Jersey tonight to take on the Devils. Buffalo Sabres, fresh off locking up a playoff spot. First time since 2011, they're in the nation's capital tonight to take on the Washington Capitals. Then we've got the New York Islanders coming off a loss to the Philadelphia Flyers last night, trying to stay in the top 3 of the Metro. Tough task in Raleigh tonight against the Hurricanes. We've got another team. I mean, this is a pretty incredible race right now in the Eastern Conference wild card. Every game is meaning so much right now. Columbus Blue Jackets welcome the Winnipeg Jets tonight, who are still within contention for a playoff spot in their own right. Both teams need that one. Also at 7, the Utah Mammoth in Vancouver to take on the Canucks, and then the Toronto Maple Leafs on the West Coast right now to take on the LA Kings. That'll be at 7 p.m. Then we've got 4 10 p.m. puck drops. The Vegas Golden Knights in Edmonton tonight to take on the Oilers. Calgary Flames visit the Anaheim Ducks. San Jose Sharks take on the visiting Nashville Predators. And the Seattle Kraken take on the Chicago Blackhawks.
Let me ask you something. You and I obviously don't vote on NHL awards, but if you had a vote, who's your MVP right now in the NHL?
Who is my MVP? That's a good question. Is Kucherov a basic answer?
No, I was looking for Macklin Celebrini because that team has now jumped into the second wild card.
I was thinking him
He's
too.
having a heck of a year.
I mean, and what a moment that would be if he takes league MVP in just his second season. But man, I mean, you could obviously throw McKinnon in there. He certainly has been a factor. That might end up being your top 3. It might be McKinnon, Kucherov, and Celebrini as your top 3. I give a slight edge to Kucherov. I feel like he makes everybody around him so much better. And it seems like he's just a walking point or two every night at this point. Even at the stage in his career, the fact he's still playing the way he's playing is pretty remarkable.
I would add, if Edmonton wins the division, Connor McDavid to that too, because they've gone on a surge since Leon Draisaitl's been hurt.
I agree.
And I'm sure old friend Chris Knobloch would love to add a division title to his trophy case, which includes 2 Western Conference championships since leaving Hartford and taking over as the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. All right, in the first period here tonight, 2 goals for the Hershey Bears. Andrew Crystal, 1:16 in. Ilya Protas able to find him left wing side. Crystal beats Callum Tung, 17th goal this season, 53rd point of the year. Time of the goal, 1:16 from Ilya Protas, 30th assist, 57th point. Bogdan Treneyev, 25th helper of the year, 38th point. Crystal would then tack on his second goal at 14:23. Protas top of the zone, right wing side. Sean, he just turned and fired it to the net. Crystal got inside positioning, tipped it by Tung. Second goal of the period, 18th of the year, 54th point. Protas, his second assist of the period, 31st of the year, 58th point of the year. And Leon Mugli gets his 5th assist, 6th point of the year, and the goal scored at 14:23. 2 penalties in the first period, both roughing minors at 11:05. One to Hershey's Henrik Rubinski, one to Hartford's Dylan Robrick. Neither team a power play in the first period. Shots on goal 10 apiece in period number 1. Callum Tung will tend goal to our broadcast right. Wolfpack right to left across your screen in period 2. And Mitch Gibson, who's looking to rebound after a loss in Springfield last night. In goal to our broadcast left, the Bears going left to right in the second period. The Wolfpack this year just 2-16, 1-1 when trailing after 1 this year. The Bears, when leading after 1, are 14-4, 2-2. Bryce McConnell-Barker will dig in against Henrik Ravinsky to kick off our second period here tonight. He's Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas. This is Hartford Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV, on Flow Hockey, and on Mixlr. The Bears 5th in the Atlantic Division in a playoff spot right now, trying to inch a little bit closer. As Morrow fires it down the right wing side, it got caught in the skates of Mitch Gibson. Played in front, they score! Well, Mitch Gibson misplayed it behind the net, and Bryce McConnell-Barker's got goals in 3 of the last 4 games, 12th of the year. Gibson misplayed it. Aiden Thompson poked it to the front of the goal. McConnell-Barker got a piece. As he just beat Rubinski to it. Good job by Thompson, Sean, to poke it in front.
and finished off by McConnell Barker. Right place, right time.
Looks like Thompson takes a high stick to make a play there. Quickest goal to open a period at home so far this season for the Wolfpack. And now, if there was a moment to talk in the first few seconds of the period, I was going to say this is a goalie in Gibson that's playing second half of a back-to-back. You got to make him work here. Got to tire him out. Has to come out of his cage right off the hop, misplays a puck, and the forechecking Thompson able to put that out in front.
Yeah, the previous fastest goal to start a period this season was Justin Dowling. At home, that is, 30 seconds into the second period on October 29th. He also scored 24 seconds into the second period on December 6th in Bridgeport. This is Bryce McConnell Barker, 10 seconds into the second period here tonight. I'm going to have to go back and check.
He's got to be frustrated that record got broken, no?
Well, he might, and I'm going to go back and check to see if that's the fastest goal to start a period in franchise history. You'll have to stand by with me on that. But 10 seconds in, the Wolfpack make it 2-1. As Walcott trying to play it out in front. It is the 12th goal of the year for McConnell Barker. It is 22nd point as the puck is played up and out with 19-18 to go in the second period. So that's goals in 3 out of 4. And the puck finding McConnell Barker in the right places right now, because last night it was Colt McWard with an egregious turnover early in the third period that McConnell Barker was denied by Tikkanen on, but followed up the rebound, scored, and now turned over by Gibson. McConnell Barker, right place, right time, and he buries it.
I think he's matched up well against Hershey throughout his entire Wolfpack career. It feels like he plays the Bears pretty well. He had a multi-goal game against them back in January. And it's another hot start to a period, just like period 1 for Hartford. This time they're the one striking.
Yeah, he had 2 goals in that win on January 20th, including the overtime winner. Hartford scored 5 in that game, 2 from McConnell Barker, and the only hat trick this season off the stick of Trey Fix-Wolanski as a shot goes wide off the end boards, and it's gobbled up by tongue by Kyler Kupka, who signed with Hershey back in July. The St. Cloud State product, spent last year with Hershey's ECHL affiliate in South Carolina. Did get some AHL games in a PTO. He was with the Calgary Wranglers, and the Bears elected to lock him up to an AHL deal, and tonight playing his 7th game of the year with Hershey. 1 assist earlier this season for him. Face off to the left of Callum Tongue. He's Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas. Aiden Thompson, Scott Morrow, the assist on the goal from Bryce McConnell Barker. 13th assist of the year for Thompson, 20th point for him. And Scott Morrow's 11th assist and 15th point of the season. Time of the goal, 10 seconds. The 12th of the year for Bryce McConnell Barker. Morrow out of the reach of Scanlon, picked up by Fix-Wolanski, could not get it out. Gucciardi down the left wing side. Suzdalev couldn't get it to Milano. Brisson trying to exit out left wing side, kept in by Milano. Suzdalev into the right wing corner. Bears setting it up here. Shot from the right wing side was blocked. Brisson, can he get it out? Yes, he can. He was able to get it by Milano. Puck back into the Hartford zone. Scanlon up ahead for Fix-Wolanski. Brisson back to Fix-Wolanski. Trying to go across the ice for Karpa. The Bears got to be sick of Trey Fix-Wolanski, who had that hat trick on January 20th, Sean, and then for good measure, he scored twice here in that 5-2 win on March the 7th. Ball caught up the side of the goal. Belpedio trying to dig it free. Right wing side, Fitzgerald. Looking to play it down low. Belpedio off of Cruikshank, right wing side. He'll backhand it around the boards. Waiting in the left wing is Connor Mackey. Walks in. He'll leave it for Zachary Karpa. Shot from the left wing, gobbled up by Gibson. He'll hang on for a whistle with 17:43 to go in period number 2. So, entering action tonight, the Bears 65 points. Their magic number is 10 to clinch a spot in the Calder Cup playoff. A win here tonight would move that down to 8 with 5 games left in their season. Win tonight for Hartford would get them to 58 points. Right now they have 14 more on the board. The Wolfpack can max out at 70. Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas off the draw, comes up right wing side, but Morrow couldn't keep it in. Puck will bounce, hit something, I believe, and face-off's going to come back in the Hershey zone.
Caught the dasher right in the Wolfpack bench. I think Fitzgerald was standing trying to point something out to Walcott, hit his glove. But no, I just want to go back to that goal earlier in the period here for Hartford, as it's the work of Aiden Thompson behind the net. He's able to get the puck out in front. A good forechecking effort, and he made his debut for the Wolfpack against Hershey in their last meeting in this building on March 7th. He was a key cog in showing some of the offensive side of Carey Torrance's game as he set him up for a nifty goal in that contest. And I think it was a great introduction to the kind of hustle we were going to see of him throughout the remainder of this season, as mean, that's just a textbook hustle play right there to open the period on the forecheck. He's able to get to that loose puck behind the net, chop it out front. Really enjoyed watching him play in this recent stretch here.
Well, really quickly, he's gotten a reputation here in Hartford as a hard-working player. And I agree, he's made a bit of an impact early and an impression after coming over on March the 6th. In a deal between Chicago and the New York Rangers that sent Derek Pouliot Chicago's way. Morrow dancing through the neutral zone with the Wolfpack cannot enter in on the left wing side. Thompson joining the Wolfpack on deadline day. Was a national champion with the University of Denver back in 2024. Frozen Four coming up starting this Thursday in Vegas. McConnell Barker chasing after it, right wing side. He was tied up by a Bear, able to play it back into his own zone, picked up by Connor Mackey. Mackey up ahead for Aiden Thompson. Thompson enters in left wing side. Wolfpacker onside. Thompson, a shot hit the outside of the goal post, and it'll rocket up and out of play. Walcott was going to the goal, Sean. Thompson was trying to sneak it by the right shoulder of Gibson. I don't dislike that idea, but he just put it off the outside of the goal post. Might be the only person in the state not thrilled by that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I was here earlier and the TVs were on showing Gino's press conference from last night. Quite an ending to that game against South Carolina.
I did see that, yeah.
That was something. But, yeah, I mean, another hustle play there.
Mackey's shot dribbles on goal. Gibson the save, went off the left pad of the Hershey goaltender, and he'll gobble it up.
Yeah, you know, we said moments ago, Thompson has built a reputation as a hard-working player, but when he's showcasing his hockey sense there, he gets the puck, he obviously he gets it stationary, and he sells like he's going to dump it in. That causes the Hershey defense to retreat a little bit, and that gives him the open ice to skate down. A patient player, and obviously you mentioned he had Walcott going to the back post, but when you're feeling it offensively, I don't mind that shot selection. Walcott's had a good night in his own right, some good chances, especially in that first period.
Robrick will take the draw opposite of Ilya Protas. I go back to a conversation I had with Zach Fish, the voice of the Bears, earlier this year. He said, you know, as good as Alexei Protas was, and he's obviously a full-timer with Washington, Ilya Protas, his younger brother, might be more impactful as a rookie offensively. That is music to the ears of the Washington Capitals, not so much the rest of the Atlantic Division. As a shot from Protas, he scores right on cue. What a shot from Ilya Protas. He rockets it over the glove of Tong 3-1 Hershey.
He just dances his way through the middle there. Right after, we're singing his praises too as he gets around Mackey twice there, and that's
moves?
That's just a heck of a shot there. I mean, it's a hard one to defend against, and I mean, his brother's a 30-goal scorer with the Capitals, and the fact that his younger brother is having a better season here in Hershey than Alexei did, that's a terrifying thought, and pretty quickly Hershey has the answer.
He's a 6'6", 225-pound centerman, and you see the silky mitts he has to just rip that over the glove of Tong. No doubt about it, he's got a goal scorer's shot. And what moves, too, against a sound defenseman in Mackey to get around him and set up that goal. That's a really nice play by Protas, who's got 3 points in this game. That's his 28th goal of the year, comes in .336. So Hartford gets it to 2-1, but Protas just makes a high-skilled play. Here's Cruikshank, couldn't get around Scanlon. Good job of the Wolfpack blue liner. Fix Wolanski left wing side for Brisson into the offensive zone. Brisson will take it for a ride around the Hershey goal. Pete Belpedio now to the right wing point. Morrow back door trying to connect with Fix Wolanski. Tied up just enough by Strome. Couldn't get a handle on the puck. Brisson down low. Fix Wolanski trying to feed Parson and came to Morrow. Couldn't get a shot away. He was tied up by Dalton Smith. Up ahead left wing side. Strome walks in. Strome a shot hit the outside of the goal post. Puck is knocked down by Dorrington behind his own net. With just over 4.5 gone by in the second period. He's Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas. Bryce McConnell-Barker 10 seconds in for Hartford. Made it 2-1, but Ilya Protas from Corey Schueneman has restored the 2-goal lead for the visitors with 3:37 to go. Hershey's magic number to clinch a playoff spot is 10. Trying to bounce back after a 4-2 loss last night in Springfield. And after a good start for the Wolfpack, the Bears have turned in quite a strong road game tonight under first-year head coach Derek King, replacing Todd Nelson, who joined Dan Muse's staff in Pittsburgh. And as Sean alluded to in the intermission, the Penguins, one of the surprise teams looking to head back to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Scanlon had his pocket pick. Backhander scores! Kyler Kupka rather's got his first as he beat Tung
with the backhand. He just cut in and snuck it by Tongue.
Hartford unable to clear there, and they pay for it. First goal for Kupka there, who, heck of a play by the rookie, cut into the net.
Kyler Kupka's first goal, second point in the American Hockey League this season with Hershey. Picked it up left wing side, cut to the goal, and just beat Tongue by the backhand. And it is 4-1 Hershey. As Parsonen will pick it up left wing side, the Wolfpack are trying to avoid what would be their 6th consecutive loss. But it's 2 goals in less than 2 minutes, and Kyler Kupka picks up the first goal of his American Hockey League career in his 19th game. And the assist on the goal to Alex Suzdalev, his 11th of the year. Time of the goal, 5 minutes and 19 seconds. And Hartford had a little bit of jump early in the second period, but they've given up 4 here tonight. Chesley's pass off of Fitzgerald. Turning and firing is Leeson. That may have gotten by Tongue and struck the iron. Tongue looked behind him, and I don't know if he realized that puck didn't go in. Puck sent out to center. Stays in play. Crystal's got it inside of his own zone, so Wolfpack got it within 1, but 2 quick goals from Hershey has them back up by 3 now, their largest lead of the game. And goal prevention, quite frankly, has been an issue this year for Hartford. More on that in a moment. Dylan Robrick down the left wing side, trying to swipe it in front, could not. Picked up by Gucciardi. The Wolfpack this season have given up 4 or more goals, Sean, 29 times in now 66 games. And that's not a recipe for success. They have given up far too many goals this year. And I know fans have the instinct to just point, well, it's goaltending. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that's you look at some of the plays tonight, Tongue hasn't had much of a chance. Same as Spencer Martin last night in the first period. As Hartford's had some leaky defense this year. Morrow walks in, he shoots, blocked away by Gibson. McDonald will play it out. And in those now 29 games, Sean, in which they've given up 4 or more goals, the prior 28, Hartford's only won 3. Shot from Dalton Smith was blocked. Parsonen was run into in the high slot. He's slow to get back up. Stays out onto the ice to the line. A drive from the blue line by Mugli. Missed the net. Smith trying to play it in front for Cruikshank. Tongue has lost his stick. Morrow trying to get it away from Dalton Smith. Hartford hemmed in their zone here. Trying to move it out as Parsonen at the end of his shift. He'll dump it up ahead left wing side. Picked up by McDonald off the boards. Parsonen couldn't get it. Cruikshank's got it for Hershey. Leon Mugli left wing side. Will move it up ahead for Strome. Got by Scanlon into the Hartford zone. This is going to be icing. Little surprised that's icing, to be honest with you, Sean, as it looked like Scanlon had a chance to play that puck, and that's what the Hershey bench is saying, that should be at center ice. A little surprised. I think they got a good case.
Saw a couple of them get up and protest there. I wonder if, I don't know, looks like they're gonna, sometimes they'll call an icing and end up putting it at center ice if they believe that it was a mistake, but Hartford be the beneficiary of this, get no zone draw here, be able to put some fresh legs out there. As you see a couple of the Bears hunched over. Dalton Smith has had a long shift. Matthew Strome. It's an important face-off here.
Off the draw, Scanlon, big drive from the right wing point off the Bears logo on the chest of Gibson. Hartford trailing 4-1. Protas from Chesley and Kupka from Suzdalev at 3:37 and 5:19 respectively. 29th time this year Hartford's given up 4 goals, at least in a game. Thompson will fire it down the left wing. Gibson couldn't settle it. The only goal Hartford's had in this game came off that misplay from Gibson 10 seconds into the period behind his net. And really, since the opening 7 or 8 minutes of this game, Sean, Hartford has struggled to get things sustained in the Hershey zone. It's been a defensive clinic from Derek King's team.
It was another strong start to the period for Hartford, but since that goal there hasn't really been much created in terms of high danger chances since then. They've had the ozone pressure, but Gibson has stood tall.
Not really a lack of effort, it's just a lack of execution right now that has plagued Hartford. Suzdalev off the stick of Fix-Molansky, picked up by Fitzgerald. He put it off of Kupka. Center ice picked up. Suzdalev will backhand it in right wing side, knocked down by Cooper Moore. Got it by Milano. Väisänen will chip it to the Hershey blue line. Chesley picks it up for the Bears.
with just over 9 gone by. Fitzgerald couldn't settle the puck. Moore will pick it up in his own zone. The Wolfpack, as we mentioned, have lost 5 in a row. They are 0-3-1-1 in that stretch, and at a time of the year where wins are out of paramount, in danger of their 6th straight loss. Their last win was that March 18th game in Charlotte, where they got within 2 points of a playoff spot. Shot from Chesley off a leg into the left wing corner. They have yet to find the win column since then. Rybinski, Chesley, shot, stopped by Tung. Picked up by Vizinen off the left wing boards out to center. Chesley, now Leeson, right wing side, Belpedio. He'll fire it into the Hartford zone. Comes up the left wing boards. Rybinski, now Bitten in there. Fitzgerald into the left wing corner. Bitten didn't see it, allows Fitzgerald to pick it up. More up ahead for Anton Bleed. Off the boards looking for Vizinen out of his reach. Right wing side, this is Karpa. Gets it into the Hershey zone. Leeson run into by Bleed. Turned it over. Anton Bleed's got Mackey. Had it poked off his stick. Left wing side, Robrick using his reach. Leeson on him immediately. Into the left wing corner. Robrick took a jab up high from Leeson as they were battling for the puck. Mackey, a shot off the legs of a bear and deep into the Hershey zone. Trying to play it in front was Robrick off the stick of Gibson. Right wing circle, Robrick trying to curl into the slot, run into by Crystal, couldn't get a shot away. And now Leeson will lift it out to center ice. Milano gets it to Andrew Crystal. He'll back into the right wing corner with 9:17 to play in period number 2. Hershey has blown their lead up to 4-1. Morrow gave it away. Protas in front, no. Came to the left wing side. Robrick couldn't clear. Trinyev, Protas out of his reach. Bleed to the line, not out. McDonald has shot. Missed by the glove of Tung. Protas had it poked away by Morrow. Walcott chipped it around McDonald. Moogly into the chest of Walcott. He'll chip it up ahead into the Hershey zone. Came right to Trinyev. Up the boards. Now left wing side. Dalton Smith working on Dorrington. Good job by Dorrington to knock it away from him. Parson in. Lost it. Protas. Here's a chance in front. They score. Bogdan Trinyev 5-1. He beats Tung by the glove. 3 goals here in the third period, or second period rather, and it's 5-1 Hershey.
Just another extended period of time in the O-zone for Hartford as they had some good chances earlier in that shift, but solid minute 30 in the zone there for Hershey afterwards. Wolfpack got hemmed in their own zone, some tired bodies, and Hershey has certainly had their way offensively in this second period. After a good start for Hartford, they have absolutely turned this game on its head for sure.
17th time this year Hartford's given up 5 or more goals. 3 goals here in the second period after Hartford got it to 2-1. 14th goal of the year for Bogdan Trinyev. And that one just beat Tung by the glove. Dalton Smith, a shot, he scores. He beat Tung by the blocker. Looking at the Wolfpack bench here, and Spencer Martin is up. 6 goals for Hershey with 8:24 to go in the second period. Spencer Martin's going to come in. Hard to fault Tung early in this game, but I think here the last 2 or 2 he's going to want back, and I think they got to make the move.
You feel for him in this situation as he's had to pretty much be locked in this whole game, especially in this period, but it becomes a mental thing at some point in the game, and this game has certainly opened up in Hershey's favor unexpectedly. Spencer Martin's going to come in. You know, we were complimentary pregame of Tung's game last weekend against Charlotte. I think that was the kind of game where, you know, you spread out the high danger chances a bit more for the opposition, and Spencer Martin enters the game.
I feel for Tung because I do agree with you early in this game. I mean, the first couple of goals here, he didn't have much of a chance. We talked about it, the 2 Crystal goals, not much of a chance. The Protas shot was a heck of a shot, even the Kupka goal. But confidence is a big thing, and I think the last 2 goals might be 2 that he would like to have back. But, you know, at that point here, he's also been under fire all game, and the Wolfpack, I think, had a good start to this game. They had a good start to the second period, but Hershey started to lean again. So it's Trinyev at 11:22, Dalton Smith at 11:36, 2 goals in 14 seconds. Wolfpack make the change, 6-1 Hershey. It is all Bears here right now as Schoenemann fires it down the left wing side, and Hartford staring down the barrel of a 6th straight loss and in deep trouble when it comes to their playoff hopes that are flickering fast right now. Delpedio right wing side will move it up ahead. There's been some things to like here tonight for Hartford, Sean, but the bottom has kind of fallen out here in the second period since that goal at 3:37 from Protas, as Hershey is starting to do what they want right now.
Yeah, I mean, that third goal from Protas really, I think, deflated them a bit in this period, as it's really been all Hershey ever since that goal to make it 3-1 in favor of the Bears. As I liked Hartford's game the opening minutes of the period. It felt like, oh, what a save by Gibson there. Point shot from Fitzgerald that caught something in the low slot. Gibson was almost completely out of the net, and he's still able to get a glove on that.
Good glove save by Gibson. 6-1 Hershey. You're watching Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV on Flow Hockey. Listening on Mixer.
You cheered us on all season, and now it's our turn to celebrate you. Friday, April 17th will be filled with prizes. First, 2,500 fans in attendance will receive a Wolfpack branded LED foam finger. The Wolfpack 2025-2026 Fan Appreciation Night is sponsored by Verizon. There will also be the opportunity for one lucky fan to shoot for $100,000 thanks to People's Band. The 2025-26 I-91 rivalry is sponsored by Brahmin Pest Control. Tickets available at HartfordWolfpack.com. The Hartford Wolfpack would like to recognize the heroes among us by honoring members of our community who have served and are currently serving in the United States Armed Forces. Each military member of the game will receive 4 tickets to a Wolfpack home game and in-game recognition on our Jumbotron. If you have someone you'd like to nominate, please visit HartfordWolfpack.com/military to nominate them today.
Barker, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. 7:15 to go in the second period. 6-1 your score. Hershey leading 4 goals to the Bears in, I'm not the best at math, but that's 7 minutes and 59 seconds. I feel pretty confident in telling you that. It's Protas, Kupka.
I'm not going to protest.
There you go. It's Protas, Kupka, Trinyev, and Dalton Smith. Unassisted goal for Trinyev, 14th of the year. He's got a goal and an assist in this game, now up to 39 points. Time of the goal, 11:22. Dalton Smith's second goal, 4th point of the year at 11:36. Matt Strome giving the only assist in the goal. 14th goal assist of the year for Strome, his 21st point of the campaign. Hershey up 6-1. Spencer Martin now in goal for the Wolfpack, as this game has gone from Hartford pushing down 2-1 to all of a sudden a 6-1 game in a span of 7 minutes and 59 seconds. And kind of got to stop and gather here, Sean. The bottom fell out pretty quickly here after what I thought was a pretty good first 22 minutes for Hartford despite trailing 2-1. Grant Cruikshank left wing side working on Morrow. Turns, fires, and a kick save with the right pad of Spencer Martin. Cruikshank will send it down low. Strome up the boards. McDonald picks it up. McDonald across the ice. Mugli off the stick of Strome. Down low, Cruikshank trying to play it into the right wing corner. Hartford 3 straight wins to open up this season series. Hershey trying to avoid the sweep tonight. Cut their magic number down to 8. A perfect first 35 or 34 minutes, we should say, for them here tonight on the road. Mugli up ahead, left wing side. Protas had it knocked off his stick by Walcott. Quickly got it back. 3 points in this game for Protas, a goal and 2 assists. And is dumped in from center off the pad of Martin. Came to Trinyev, lifted it over the glove of Spencer Martin. Ilya Protas looking to go back door. Picked up by Andrew Crystal to the line. Schoenemann. D to D Chesley. Now Trinyev, right wing side, turns, fires. Tipped on by Protas, a save by Martin. Rebound out in front. Protas trying to find it. He does. Lifts a backhander. Saved by Martin. Played back to the goaltender by Scanlon. It'll hang on for a whistle with 6:01 to go. A shooting gallery in the Hartford zone. Not exactly an easy entry for Spencer Martin. Will step aside with 6:01 remaining in period number 2. Hershey leads by a score of 6-1 from People's Bank Arena.
Score big this season with our CTDOT Family Value Packs. These packs include 3 tickets to a predetermined game, 3 hot dogs, and 3 sodas. Need more than 3 tickets? We have you covered. Additional tickets can be added on at checkout. This way, everyone is included. Our pre-selected dates include game day fun such as pre-game autographs, post-game player events, giveaways, and more. Have your pack. Join our pack for a night full of excitement and fun. Tickets at HartfordWolfpack.com/CTDOTFVP. The Pack is back at their newly renovated home for the 2025-26 season. Come out and enjoy the updated concourse, food and beverage offerings, and experience our new premium spaces. As we head into 2026, we have an exciting lineup of events, from specialty jerseys to a pregame pizza tasting, a Rangers alumni appearance, and new giveaways. We promise you won't want to miss a second of the excitement at People's Bank Arena. $2 drafts and $2 hot dogs are here to stay, too. Tickets at HartfordWolfpack.com.
Hi, I'm Aiden Thompson, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
6:01 to go in the second period alongside Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas. And Sean, they usually get a spark from a goaltending change, but Hershey continuing to pour on the pressure here.
I mean, they just got right back to work. As look out here, Fitzgerald and Bitt getting together. They get quickly separated, but yeah, Martin comes right in. He has to make a big pad save. I don't even think a minute into him being in the game, and then a flurry of bodies come around the net. Scanlon wisely just taps that over to his goaltender, who covers up. This might be a powder keg here with Bitten and Fitzgerald.
Bitten, of course, with the spear on Dylan Garand last meeting. They are still jousting, shot from the line. Bitten able to get away from Fitzgerald, so we'll bookmark that one. And now Bitten hears it in the corner from Cooper Moore, who turns and slashes Bitten. And they're going to take them both. And now here we go. They'll drop the gloves inside the Hartford zone as Bitten, and it looks like it's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald firing away with rights. Bitten will get a bit of a takedown as Fitzgerald was off balance, but Fitzgerald landed some good shots on Bitten, and good on the Wolfpack captain. It was a dirty spear from Sam Bitten in the last meeting on March the 7th, and Sam Bitten going to stare down the Wolfpack bench. Quite frankly, what Bitten did here on March 7th was gutless on his part, and a 5-2 game to spear Dylan Garand the way he did. He was suspended for it, and he's an honest player. And the Wolfpack captain drops the gloves with him here.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, I'm surprised it took this long for somebody to go with Bitten. I mean, you know, we talked about the first intermission. They threw him out there to start the game, and I know Hartford was looking to get the early jump, which they ended up getting, but I don't think this is the last time we're going to see Bitten in that box tonight.
So 5 for fighting to Fitzgerald and Bitten. Remember, Cooper Moore was taking an initial penalty, so there's going to be at least 7 penalty minutes to Sam Bitten. It's going to be the 5 for fighting, and then there's 2 extra minutes on he and Cooper Moore. 5:49 to go.
I mean, Bitten and Fitzgerald were jousting a bit on the face-off. It continued after the puck dropped, and puck went to the corner, and Fitzgerald's D partner Moore trying to just start it up ice and takes a hit for his troubles. A little shot from Bitten as well. Moore returns the favor. That's all right. 2 for roughing aside. That's a correct call by the officials, and they're actually going to send off.
Well, he's got 7 penalty minutes, so with 5:49 left, he might as well get a chance to calm things down. And now Bitten was barking at a fan, but it looked like he was chuckling.
I can't tell if he was saying something to Bjorklund over the shoulder or if that was to a fan, but the fan started laughing.
They both started having a chuckle.
Oh,
so
that's amazing.
That's good stuff right there. And look, Bitten's a tone setter. The move was gutless, but he's not that kind of player. So they're going to take.
So maybe I guess all 7 penalty minutes are likely going to Bitten there, and that extra 2 they're just going to send back is my guess.
It was Kupka who was in the box to serve it. 5:49 to go in the second period. Hershey up 6-1 after 4 unanswered goals. They chase Callum Tongue, 31-36 in here tonight. Anton Bleed having a word with the officials. The manpower does not change off of that. So we know Casey Fitzgerald got 5 for fighting. Cooper Moore got 2.
believe it was for roughing, and then 5 for fighting to Sam Bitton, and I want to say it's also going to be 2 for roughing, but we'll wait till that's announced in-house.
Well, one thing's for sure, there's a lot of hockey left to be played, and although it might be too big of a hole to climb out of for Hartford, there certainly is a lot of time for these two to settle their differences perhaps, so we'll have to see where that goes. But
off the draw, Morrow will flip it out ahead. So it is 2 for roughing, 5 for fighting to Sam Bitton. Cooper Moore gets 2 for roughing, Fitzgerald 5 for fighting as Milano dances in left wing side. That is off the stick of Gucciardi, picked up Parsonen, now Ortiz, could not get it out. Second chance he does, Brisson across center, looking for Fix Wolanski, went off Belpedio. Bears would have moved it up ahead, they do. This is Protas trying to dance through Morrow. Hartford would have been offside on that initial chance. Milano back out to center off of Leon Mugli's stick. Mugli up ahead. This is Milano down the left wing. Martin will leave it for Ortiz. Out to center off of Fix Wolanski and out of play with 4:56 to go in the second period. 4 unanswered goals from the Bears have them in firm control here tonight. Hershey leading by a score of 6-1. You're watching Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV, on Flow Hockey, and listening on Mixer.
You've cheered us on all season, and now it's our turn to celebrate you. Friday, April 17th will be filled with prizes. First 2,500 fans in attendance will receive a Wolfpack branded LED foam figure. Wolfpack 2025-2026 Fan Appreciation Night is sponsored by Verizon. There will also be the opportunity for one lucky fan to shoot for $100,000. Thanks to People's Band, the 2025-26 I-91 rivalry is sponsored by Robin Pest Control. Tickets available on Wolfpack.com. Fans, now you can experience the AHL like never before. Watch AHL TV on Flow Hockey.
Skip and scores! Rabbit Scanlon! Overtime! Winner!
On demand from wherever you are, on your desktop, laptop, tablet, phone, smart TV, or OTT device. Visit flowhockey.tv to join now and never miss a moment. AHL action.
Hi, I'm Grant Paconi, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
4:55 to go in the second period here this evening. Alongside Sean Dufresne, I'm Alex Thomas. The Wolfpack got it to 2-1 early in the second period, but 4 goals in 7 minutes and 59 seconds have the Bears firmly in control here tonight. Up by a score of 6-1 as the Wolfpack trying to avoid a 6th consecutive loss. Puck will come to the left of Spencer Martin, who's out to play it. 3 points for Ilya Protas in this game as the Bears set it up. Crystal looking for Protas. Triniev turns and fires, missed it by the blocker of Martin off the stick of McDonald and out to center. Chesley up ahead, left wing side. Chesley,
absolutely buried him right in front of the Wolfpack bench.
Keep an eye on that. Walcott's been involved physically in this game. McDonald on the right wing, trying to get around Connor Mackey. McDonald will backhand it left wing side. Cruikshank will pick it up. Anton Bleed will send this out to center. Chesley at his own blue line, eyed by Robrick. Chesley will use the left wing boards, got it out to center. Leaping is Mackey. He'll grab it with his left hand and then dump it down the right wing side as he'll go for a change with 4 minutes to go here in period number 2. As Hartford got it to 2-1, the Bears took control from there, however. Martin will play it up the left wing. Dorrington. This is out to center, picked up by McConnell. Barker walks in left wing side. His shot off the stick of a Bear and into the right wing corner. Morrow played back to the line. Dorrington, left wing Thompson, off Chesley into the left wing corner. Lamb trying to find it, picked up by Smith off of Cruikshank at the blue line, poked ahead Thompson. Chesley back to Cruikshank, scores short-handed last night in Springfield, fires it down the right wing side. Martin will leave it for Morrow, 3:20 to go. Hartford in their own zone here. Morrow behind his own net will settle things down as they make changes. He's got an assist here tonight. Trey Fix-Wolanski left wing side. Juuso Parsonen into the Hershey zone. Parsonen couldn't get it to the goal, went off Suzdalev. Now Milano speeds up left to right on the left wing.
Pass to the right wing, Suzulev in front, tapped on goal by Kupka, and a save by Martin, who hangs on for a whistle with 2:55 to go as Cooper Moore is freed after serving his 2-minute roughing minor.
Kupka, who's got his first AHL goal earlier in this period. Must have a hidden bag of tricks there. The puck goes to the front of the net. He tries to bat that one in between the legs. Martin has the answer on that one, but 2:55 left in this period here. See if Hartford can just have something here to take into the third period.
Face-off won by Juuso Parssinen. Off of Fix-Wolansky out to center. Gucciardi fanned on it. Fix-Wolansky picks it up. Enters in right wing side. He finds Juuso Parssinen. Backhander save. Gibson back to Parssinen. Couldn't get the shot away. Stick was tied up by Kupka. I'll tell you what, Kyler Kupka's impressed here, Sean. First time we've seen him with Hershey. Scanlon a shot glove down. Gibson laying on for a whistle. 2:30 to go. Not a flashy player by any stretch of the imagination, but he's going to the hard areas, and he's a thorn in the side of the play against. I've liked what I've seen from Kyler Kupka tonight.
Yeah, and I think Kupka is kind of a byproduct of what this organization has done top to bottom. I mean, there aren't many organizations, at least for an extended period of time, that can, from the NHL club all the way down to the ECHL club, be able to farm that talent. And Kupka's a guy that played a fair share of games with South Carolina. You can throw some other names in there as well. Crookshank was down there, Dalton Smith, and players that, you know, they become impact players at the ECHL level. That's when they can come up to the AHL. And you know, we've seen it with a handful of players. I think Pittsburgh is another example. A lot of players start wheeling and they grind their way up. Sergei Moroshov has done that. It's hard to master, but I think this organization has perfected it to a T.
Morrow right wing side will play it for Connor Mackey. His shot stopped by Gibson. Big rebound. No Wolfpack player in the area code. Rybinski will send it out to center. Now he takes it away from Morrow. Gets it across Leeson. What a save by Martin. Puck came to Strome. Takes it behind the Hartford goal, left wing side. Strome will take it up to the blue line. Leaves it for Schuneman. Sends it down low. Hopped over the stick of Rybinski. Tried the backhand in front. Broken up by Walcott. He'll chip it up the left wing out to center with 1:40 to go. And to your point, Sean, Dalton Smith was an established AHL veteran when he went down. Credit to him. Played some games in South Carolina, came back up, and he is a veteran presence, a tough presence in this Hershey forward group. He and Sam Bitton, they certainly bring the beef up top. This is going to be waved off as Walcott won the foot race, trying to play it out in front, but Robrick had drifted over to the left wing side. Final 1:12 of the second period. Trenyev drops it down the Corey Schuneman, retreats behind his own goal. The momentum in this building just taken right out after Hartford made it 2-1, 10 seconds in. Final minute of the period, the Wolfpack gave up 4 goals in 7 minutes and 59 seconds. A 2-1 game became a 6-1 game. And Hershey a comfortable cushion here late in the second period tonight. Gucciardi will rush up left wing side, walks in, has shot off the legs of Ortiz. Came back to Gucciardi, who takes it into the right wing corner. Protas pass off a leg, came to Lamb. Right to left across center, Bleed. To the left wing, too high for Lamb. Picked up Gucciardi, retreats into his own zone. Out to center, Protas off the stick of Moore. Knocked down Crystal, couldn't get a shot away. Second chance, jammed it wide. Good job by Ortiz to stay with him. Ortiz up ahead. McConnell Barker out to center. Backhander off a leg, and came to Belpedio. Louis Belpedio on the right wing, out to center. This is Crookshank trying to get by Moore. He does. Crookshank a shot. Saved by Martin, and he hangs on for a whistle with 6.7 seconds to go. Tip of the cap to Spencer Martin, Sean. He's been under duress here since coming into the game, and he's provided Hartford with a little bit of consistency here back there right now.
And they're going to get a hook. It looks like Cooper Moore, as Crookshank was driving to the net. There's been a lot of minor penalties called in this game.
No, and as Fitzgerald comes out after serving his 5 for fighting, Moore's going to go right back in.
Yeah.
And you can see the replay. He got him, no doubt about it.
Martin had the angle to make the save. Just a little under 7 seconds left in the period.
Believe it or not, this is the first power play of the hockey game. Belongs to Hershey.
Hard to believe. Almost 2 full periods of no power plays.
Bears 17.99% on the year, but they're a little bit better on the road at 19.57%. Hartford's PK 82.06%. A little bit better than that at just over 83% at home this year.
Off the face-off, Moogly will step into a shot, missed it by the blocker of Martin. Came to McDonald, right wing side, couldn't get it to the goal. As Bleed will take it out to center as the horn will sound, and now Bleed and McDonald going at it deep in the Hershey zone. McDonald didn't like that. Bleed took the puck into the offensive zone. Bleed didn't appreciate the shoves, and now everybody getting together in the Hershey end. 6-1 Bears after 2 here tonight. And, you know, Sean, I go back to, as this get-together will dissipate, you know, the Hartford gets this game to 2-1, and it's 4 goals in just under 8 minutes. It's been an issue for Hartford this year where things have snowballed, and it has here again tonight. And the Wolfpack now have given up 5 or more goals for the 17th time this season in Game 66. To me, that's something that has to get remedied for Hartford. Not just this year, but moving forward. These kinds of defensive issues have to get ironed out, because if Hartford's going to be a team with a young forward group, and they are right now, that's 29th in the league in goals, you can't chase games like this. Yeah. And look, there's a number of factors. Last night, it was a frustrating first period where, again, life maybe made a little too easy for Bridgeport in the first 20 minutes. I don't think they've necessarily done that tonight. There was a bit of a sag for a point there in the second period. The 2 goals in 14 seconds, there was a bit of a sag there. And on one hand, it's understandable. On the other hand, it's a little disappointing. But Hartford's got to do a better job defensively here moving forward the rest of the way. Whether or not it's going to be enough to get in the playoffs, we'll see, but they've got to be better defensively here.
Yeah, I think that's kind of been the trend all season here for them in those games that have gotten away from them. It hasn't been a 60-minute just general bad effort from the Wolfpack, I think, in any of those situations. It's just like we've seen in that second period just now, a couple of minutes where things just get away from them, whether it's a penalty call they don't like and the opposition capitalizes on that, or it's just a couple bad goals you let in a short sequence, and that kind of becomes the story in that game. And I think back to some of those games early in the season where they had leads that they saw get evaporated, in the closing minutes of the game. We've seen some tough regulation losses in this building, games that were tied late. It's usually never a situation where we're sitting here after a game and saying, man, I mean, they just didn't have it today all 60 minutes. It's consistently something where, like you mentioned, with the snowballing, it's just a couple shifts where it's not the standard, and it turns into a couple goals that you let up, and that ends up being what you look at in retrospect, looking at those games where it's like, how can we find a way to not prevent those little 5-minute blips of maybe a lack of concentration, whatever you might attribute it to. How can you prevent that from happening? And I think that's kind of the big question looming from this season.
Well, I think there's a little bit, too, of disappointment here as Hartford able to get within 2 points of a playoff spot with 2 big wins in Charlotte on St. Patrick's Day on the 18th. And right now, they are staring squarely in the face of their 6th straight loss, 4th in regulation time. That won't mathematically knock them out, Sean, but they're going to be on the brink if the results out of town hold tonight. And not the same kind of disappointing second period as the first period last night, but still, for Hartford, there's got to be some disappointment after getting the game to 2-1, now down by 5, heading into the third period. All right, busy night in the American Hockey League. Sean will take you around the AHL with our scoreboard check.
That's right, 14 other games, not including Hartford's matchup here tonight inside People's Bank Arena. We've got 3 final scores to report to you. First of which, coming into Laval, a rare East-West matchup in the regular season as the Calgary Wranglers headed to Place Belle and fell by a score of 4-3 in the shootout. Florian Jacki had the game-tying goal in the game, had the tying goal in the game in the second period. And he also has the shootout game winner. Other scores that have gone final, 2 road wins. Big statements made by some juggernauts in the East and the West. We'll start with the Charlotte Checkers, who pick up a convincing 5-1 win over the Toronto Marlies inside the Coca-Cola Coliseum. 5 different goal scorers for Charlotte, 5-1 win there in Ontario. And also, the Grand Rapids Griffins took a trip to the Canada Life Centre to take on the Manitoba Moose and knocked them off by a score of 7-2. 7 different goal scorers in that game for the Griffins, as balanced of a team as you'll find in the Western Conference. Now we've got some games still underway. Closing minutes at Blue Cross Arena between the Providence Bruins and the Rochester Americans. A win for Providence can clinch them the Atlantic Division title. 1-1 is still the score in this one. Rochester 0 for 4 on the power play tonight, being outshot 24-17 with 2:30 left in regulation time. Through 2 periods of play in San Jose at the Texas Arena, it's the Barracuda and the Colorado Eagles. Each team adding on a goal in this second period. We're now tied at 2 apiece. Colin White has both goals for the Barracuda. Ethan Sampson has tied the game inside the Mass Mutual Center between the Crunch and the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds knocked off this Hershey Bears team last night, looking to continue some good hockey as of late, just under 2 minutes left in that second period. Milwaukee looking to pull off the upset road win in Cleveland against the Monsters, as it's Oasis Weisblatt with the go-ahead goal late in the first period, having his Admirals up 2-1 with 3:42 left in the first period. It's been a dominant first period for the road team, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, who are taking on the Lehigh Valley Phantoms inside the PPL Center in Allentown. Aaron Hooglin has 2 goals in this game, coming just over a minute apart. Aiden McDonough a goal as well. 3-0 Penguins with just 2:15 left on the clock in the first period there. Providence looking at this one, if they're going to need the 2 points here, if Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins can also get 2 points tonight. The Utica Comets at home against the Belleville Senators currently lead by a score of 2-0 through 2 periods of play. And then we've got a handful of games yet to begin. The Iowa Wild in Rockford tonight take on the Ice Hogs inside the BMO Center. That'll be at 8 p.m. Also at 8 p.m., the Chicago Wolves take a trip to Cedar Park, Texas to take on the Stars. And then our West Coast matchups, the Henderson Silver Knights inside the Lease Family Forum host the Tucson Roadrunners. The Ontario Reign, well on their way to locking up the Pacific Division title, take on the Bakersfield Condors. And then 10 p.m., Coachella Valley in Abbotsford to take on the Canucks inside the Rogers Forum.
Hershey up by a score of 6-1 here at Peoples Bank Arena. The Wolfpack right now staring down their 6th consecutive loss, and what would drop them to, I believe this would be 5 straight here at home, as Hartford has struggled a bit at home this year. And Sean, before we head into the AHL Plays of the Week, that's one spot that next season, regardless of what happens down the stretch here, is going to have to be better. Hartford's got to be a better home team. They haven't been good enough this year or last year at home. They've been good enough, I think, on the road to be a playoff team this year. Not at home to this point. That's got to be better.
Yeah, well, their last home win going into tonight was against this very Hershey team on March 7th. So, you know, you could say they played more on the road. They had the 5-game road trip in between, but back-to-back games against Charlotte last weekend that both go into extra hockey games they played well in. You can't fault them for
no, I agree. I thought they played very well last weekend against Charlotte.
They banked 2 points that weekend. Charlotte ends up getting the extra points past regulation play there, but I think that's definitely going to be an area of emphasis in this offseason. How can we create a tough environment to play in here? I think, honestly, the fans have done their job at times this season. We've got some good turnouts here. It's just a matter of some more consistency across the board. We talked about the snowballing. That's something that has to be looked at.
Here's this week's installment of the AHL Plays of the Week. When we return, it's the NHL Scoreboard Check.
You can just about see the Calder Cup playoffs on the horizon, but we're still in the foothills for that climb, though the trek does get steeper every day. As teams battle back and forth for spots in the dance, let's check out the best of the week that was. I'm Daniel Fink from the Manitoba Moose with your AHL Plays of the Week. The Coachella Valley Firebirds have been one of the hottest teams in the AHL, having won 9 of their past 11 games heading into the weekend. The previous Saturday, the Firebirds played host to the San Jose Barracuda and opened the scoring with a power play goal from Yanni Newman. Here's Evan Pivnik with the icebreaker.
Broken up momentarily, but the Firebirds handle. Chugged off, left side, Chalet. Newman inside, fires, he scores! The 21st goal of the season for Yanni Newman comes in his 31st game, and the Firebirds strike on the power play and lead 1-0.
With plenty of new players entering the league late in the season, teams are collecting a pile of first goal pucks. Bennett Shimmick lit the lamp for the first time in his pro career on Sunday as the Abbotsford Canucks grabbed a 5-3 win over San Diego. Shimmick added an assist as well in the Canucks' victory. Here's Brendan Astle with the milestone tally.
Here's Oman to Shimmick, right circle, wrist shot, scores! Grab that puck! Bennett Shimmick has his first career professional goal, and he gives the Canucks a 2-goal lead.
Texas Stars newcomer Dylan Ritzkovian, the younger brother of reigning AHL Rookie of the Year Justin, has made an immediate impact since turning pro last week. With points in 3 straight games, the younger Ritzkovian scored his first goal on Tuesday, the game winner in a 2-1 victory in San Jose. Here's John Peterson on the mic.
Here come the Stars right back in. Ayrton Martino. Here's Ritzkovian. He scores!
professional goal for Dylan Ritzkovian, and Texas has jumped in front quickly. 16 seconds after Hannes' goal, Ritzkovian gets his first of many, and he'll keep that puck.
James Hagens made his highly anticipated debut for the Bruins last week, and in just his second game, he delivered one of Providence's most electrifying goals. The 19-year-old buried a one-timer from the right wing, marking his first ever pro point. Here's Brett Schaubs with Hagens' first AHL score.
Wolanin slides it across. Tufte. Hagens a shot. He scores! Welcome to the show, James Hagens. 5-2 Bruins on the power play. There it is, the first professional point for James Hagens.
We shift from AHL newcomers to a more veteran outlook as a frantic finish in Rockford last Saturday saw Rem Pitlick score the OT winner with just 5.5 seconds left in the extra frame. The tally gave the Ice Hogs a 3-2 win over the Iowa Wild. Here's Dana White with Pitlick's crucial goal.
10 seconds to go in overtime. Face off to the right of Peterson, and the puck drop, one back for the Hogs to Fitzgerald. Tees up a one-timer, score! Rem Pitlick rolls the credits on this one, and the Ice Hogs win it 3-2.
The Wild and Ice Hogs were off to OT again the next night as Ben Jones willed Iowa back into their matchup with Rockford. Jones tallied twice in the third to force overtime, where the Ice Hogs eventually claimed the extra point in a 4-3 shootout win. Here's Ben Gislason with the Iowa captain's third-period heroics.
Bouncing puck, going to be a shorty. It's Gambrell. It's a 2-on-0 with Jones. Jones for Gambrell. Back to Jones. They score! When the Wild needed it most, it's the captain.
Arthur Kaliev had the Hats raining down in Belleville in a 5-0 win over the Manitoba Moose to kick off the weekend. The league's leading goal scorer added to his Senators' single-season goals record and moved into third on the team's single-season points list. David Foote cues the Hats at CAA Arena.
On the far side with the puck now is Grant Clark. Back to Kaliev. Scores! A hat trick for Arthur Kaliev as he hammers home number 36, and the Senators lead 5-0.
The Comets cruised into Rocket Arena to face the Cleveland Monsters for the first time since opening weekend. Trailing 1-0 in the first, Utica got a goal from Nathan Legare to tie the game, which sparked a flurry of 4 consecutive goals for Utica. Joe Benson brings us Legare's 9th of the season that helped power the 5-3 Comets win.
Addison, a slap pass to Legare left circle. Lines up in the corner to Ryan Schmelzer, upstairs from the left point. Long wrist shot, they score! Deflected in by Nathan Legare, right outside the blue paint. And the Comets tie the game at 1 with 6:47 to go in the first period.
The Rochester Americans need every win they can pull out to hold on to the final playoff spot in the North Division. That includes a 3-2 shootout win over the Syracuse Crunch on Sunday. Winger Olivier Nadeau gave the Amerks a 2-0 edge in the skills competition, leaving the spotlight to goalie Devin Levi. Here's Don Stevens with the game's final play.
League's leading point producer, Pelche up the left wing, over the blue line. Waves his way back to the right wing side. Boy, he's going real slow. Moves out in front, takes a shot, and he missed. The Amerks win it. Rochester coming away with the victory in the shootout.
We close out with the Tucson Roadrunners, who are also in the thick of the playoff race in the Pacific Division. Andrew Agozzino helped the cause with a 2-goal effort on Saturday, leading the Roadrunners to a 4-2 win over the Ontario Reign. The victory put Tucson within 1 point of the final spot in the Pacific at the time. Here's James Mackey with Agozzino's go-ahead tally in the third.
Simashev walks the blue line. Now he'll walk towards the left wing circle in tight. A shot and they score! Left wing circle, Andrew Agozzino puts Tucson up 3-2.
We're getting down to last call for teams trying to book their tickets to the Calder Cup playoffs. Every day provides new clinching scenarios, and that means the berths are filling up fast. So keep it locked on the AHL.com for the latest standings and magic numbers. And as always, don't miss a moment of the action with AHL TV on Flow Hockey. I'm Daniel Fink from the Manitoba Moose. Thanks for listening to the AHL Plays of the Week.
Have you been out to People's Bank Arena yet? Between the updated concourse, food offerings, and premium spaces, we promise you won't want to miss out. Don't miss a minute of the excitement in the heartbeat of Connecticut. Tickets at hartfordwolfpack.com/tickets. Looking for a way to join the fun all season long? Whether you are a diehard hockey fan or someone looking to do something on the weekends, Wolfpack Ticket memberships have something for everyone. You can pick your games, attend exclusive events, receive exclusive parking and food discounts, and more. Don't miss out on your chance to join the excitement from the newly renovated People's Bank Arena. Learn more by visiting HartfordWolfpack.com/memberships or by calling 860-722-9425.
I'm Casey Fitzgerald, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
15 games in the National Hockey League tonight. We're going to waste no time here. Start with our 5 games that have gone final. Alex Thomas, you're on hand for the parent club Rangers 4-1 victory over the Detroit Red Wings earlier this afternoon. Gabe Perreault, a hat trick. Yaroslav Hamelos with a goal as well. All-around fun result there. Iowa, listen to me. The Minnesota Wild were in Ottawa today to take on the Senators. They knocked them off 4-1. A big win for Eastern Conference wildcard implications. 2-0 is the score for the Avalanche. They blanked the Dallas Stars in Dallas. Lightning hold on against the Boston Bruins, a 3-1 win. Crazy score here. The Pittsburgh Penguins knock off the Florida Panthers 9-4. Now for our game still underway. First intermission in New Jersey. The Devils are down 1-0 to the visiting Montreal Canadiens. Busy first period in the nation's capital as Washington currently leads the visiting Buffalo Sabres by a score of 3-2. First intermission in Raleigh, North Carolina between the Hurricanes and the Islanders, knotted at 1 apiece through the first 20. Through the first 20 in Columbus as well, the Blue Jackets currently lead the visiting Winnipeg Jets 1-0. 2:30 left in the first period in Vancouver. The Canucks welcome the Utah Mammoth to town tonight. They are knotted at 1 apiece. Then in LA, the Kings welcome the Toronto Maple Leafs to town. The visiting Leafs currently lead 2-0. We've got some games yet to begin, all at 10 p.m. Edmonton Oilers take on the visiting Vegas Golden Knights in a Pacific Division bout. Another Pacific Division bout in Anaheim as the Ducks take on the visiting Calgary Flames. Then wrapping us up tonight, the Nashville Predators in San Jose to take on the Sharks. And the Seattle Kraken welcome the Chicago Blackhawks.
Here in Hartford, the Wolfpack made it a 1-goal game 10 seconds in to this second period when Mitch Gibson misplayed the puck behind the Hershey net. It was Aiden Thompson who poked it to the front of the goal, jammed in by Bryce McConnell-Barker. His 12th goal of the year, his 22nd point. Goals in 3 of the last 4 for McConnell-Barker. Thompson picks up the primary assist, 13th of the year, 20th point. And Scott Morrow, the secondary assist, 11th of the year and 15th point. Time of the goal, 10 seconds. Fastest goal to start a period this season for the Wolfpack. But Ilya Protas would rip his shot over the glove of Callum Tung at 3:37 of the second period. Restore the 2-goal lead, 3-1 for Hershey. 28th goal of the year for Protas, his 3rd point of the game at that time. It would be Protas' 59th point of the year at the time. Ryan Chesley, primary assist, 9th of the year, 15th point. And Andrew Crystal, his first assist of the night, 37th of the year. And his 3rd point of the night, 55th of the year. Kyler Kupka would score his first career AHL goal at 5:19, 2nd point of the year. Alex Seuss will have the only assist, 11th of the year, 19th point. Then 2 goals in 14 seconds would chase Tung from the game. Bogdan Trenyev from the right wing circle beat Tung by the glove. 14th goal of the year for him is 39th point of the year, 2nd of the game. And they have given 2 assists to that goal. Dalton Smith, his 3rd of the year and 4th point. Ilya Protas, 3rd assist of the night for Protas, 32nd of the year, 4 points for him. He's up to 60 on the season. And then a backhander from the left wing side from Dalton Smith sneaks by Tung, 2nd goal of the year, 5th point for Smith. Matt Stroll, the only assist, 14th of the year, 21st point. So in this game, a goal and 3 assists for Protas, 2 goals and an assist for Crystal, a goal and an assist for Trenyev. And how about this? Dalton Smith had 3 points in 55 games this season coming into tonight. He gets 2 points in 14 seconds on goals at 11:22 and 11:36. Callum Tung pulled from the game after 31 minutes and 36 seconds. 6 goals allowed on 16 shots. Spencer Martin, cleanup duty. The final 8:24 of the second period, 7 saves on 7 shots. All right, now for the penalties. At 14:11, Sam Bitton and Casey Fitzgerald, 5 each for fighting. Bitton also gets 2 for roughing that Kyler Kupka serves, and Cooper Moore gets 2 for roughing. The manpower doesn't change. And then Cooper Moore for hooking at 19:53 the second period. Both teams 0 for 0 in the power play. Hershey on their first power play for the first minute and 54 seconds of the third period. Shots on goal 13-10 for Hershey in period number 2, 23-20 through 40 minutes.
He's Sean Dufresne. I'm Alex Thomas. The Wolfpack this year 2-25, 0-0. When trailing after 2, the Bears are 18-0, 2-2 when leading after 2. Martin in goal to our broadcast left. Wolfpack killing the penalty left to right. Gibson in goal to our broadcast right. Bear power play works right to left. Anton Bleed will clear it down the length of the ice, and now Parsonen and Walcott will jump out with Fitzgerald and Mackey. There is one Bear in the penalty box. That's Sam Bitton as he's finishing up his 7 minutes of penalty time here to start period 3. Rybinski defended well on the left wing by Fitzgerald, then spun into the boards. Walcott clears. Belpedio retreats into his own zone with a minute and 10 seconds left on the penalty to Cooper Mort. Happy to have you alongside on this Saturday night. Hartford trying to snap a 5-game skid, but trailing by 5 here early in the third period. Puck kept in right wing side, Belpedio. Milano to the left wing for Crystal. Down low for Bogdan Trinyev. Off the boards comes to Connor Mackey. He will turn and fire it down the length of the ice and into the final 49 seconds of the first power play of this game for either side. That belongs to Hershey. This is Suzdalev on the right wing. He will leave it for Leon Mugli. Up ahead for Brett Leeson. Chip down the right wing side, chasing is Scanlon. Milano inside on him. Scanlon and Milano going at it along the boards behind the Hartford net. Puck pops loose, comes to Suzdalev. Backhanded up left wing side. Mugli settles the bouncing puck down. Dorrington on Suzdalev, able to get it to Kupka. Kyler Kupka down behind the Hartford net. Bleed gave it away, Kupka. Final 15 seconds of the power play. Suzdalev back up top. Mugli over to the left wing side. Now Leon Mugli takes a return feed to the blue line. He'll dish it over to the left wing. Mugli takes a feed, now dishes it off for Kupka. Right wing side, Milano, one more. Suzdalev, what a save by Martin. Suzdalev robbed by the veteran goaltender. A terrific save by Spencer Martin. Now the left wing side for Milano out of his reach. Martin has been very good since coming into this game, Sean, and he's been tested. Make no mistake, he's made some high difficulty saves.
Yeah, that was not an easy save to make. You had to get all the way across there. And an errant clearing attempt, another opportunity shortly thereafter. They get the early kill here in this period. See if Hartford can do something here as clock's ticking.
Down to 17.5 to go in regulation time. Wolfpack got the kill. Schoenemann over to the left wing side. Lifted in by Strome. So, Sean, in a game that's a 5-goal game, obviously, you know, you're hoping to win the game. Cruikshank has his stick tied up by Ortiz, but what are you looking for from the Wolfpack here in the third period to at least have something to build on heading into next weekend?
You got to just win each shift. I mean, even if it's not a lot of ozone pressure, you can win it with your physicality, you can win it with your speed. I think at that point you just got to look at the small victories and take them one at a time here, as it's, you know, it's pretty much insurmountable lead by Hershey. Of course, anything's possible, but it's got to take some quick results here, and we'll see if that can snowball into something.
Dalton Smith on the left wing side. Wolfpack have lost 5 in a row coming into this hockey game. They have struggled at times at home this season. Mackey will play at left wing. This is chipped in by Trey Fix-Bolansky. Behind the Hershey goal, the Bears will head to Charlotte for 2 games next weekend. 4 o'clock next Saturday, 1 o'clock next Sunday.
That could very well be an opening round preview depending on how the rest of this season shapes out for Hershey. I mean, Springfield occupying that 6th place, that final playoff spot in the Atlantic Division, but they're playing some good hockey as of late.
And they're only 1 point behind Hershey, and the T-Birds are winning right now 2-1 at home. Mackey at the blue line, his shot in and out of the glove of Gibson. Fix-Bolansky, stick save, Gibson, rebound sky high. Gibson's got it, he hangs on with 16:06 to go. So, you know, we talk about Hartford still entering this game 8 points out of a playoff spot. They still are looking to chase down. But if you're Hershey, you don't want to fall into that 6th spot, because then you're not guaranteed a home game. Because if you go to Charlotte, all 3 games are in Charlotte, you have to win the round to get back home. Hartford dealt with that in 2024. It's a tough task. It's doable, as the Wolfpack proved that spring, but you want to stay in that 5 spot right now if you're Hershey, or get back into that 4 spot ahead of Bridgeport. They need these 2 points tonight, and after a good push from Hartford early, give this Hershey team credit. They look like a team right now that is determined to pick up 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure. Charlotte applies a lot of pressure amongst the rest of the league if they are occupying one of those top 3 seeds. And as you mentioned, 2 years ago, Hartford had to deal with that. Came out on the right side of it, but it's not easy.
Thompson turns, fire shot was blocked. Charlotte has already clinched at least the 3 seed.
Scanlon a shot denied by Gibson. They are still flirting with potentially a bye, but running out of time as Wilkes-Barre Scranton had built up a big cushion. Thompson will play it into the right wing corner. John McDonald picks it up left wing side for Hershey. So there's a lot to determine in the Atlantic Division in the final few weeks as Walcott gets it. Robrick walks in, shot misses into the right wing corner, up the boards. Ortiz trying to spin away from Leeson. Ortiz from a knee plays it down low. Walcott knocked off the puck by Bitton, who backhands it up the boards, kept in by Cooper Moore, shot off the left pad of Gibson. Comes to McDonald behind the net, up ahead, Bitton run into by Cooper Moore. Puck sent out to center with just over 5 gone by in the third period, and Hershey up 6-1. Robrick enters in, right wing side. He has it poked off his stick at the blue line. Could not get around Kupka. Tyler Kupka to center will gain the red line and dump it into the right wing corner. Puck off the boards. Cooper Moore trying to shake off Suzdalev. Moore out ahead for Kalevaisen, that's off of Moore. Delayed offside against Hartford. Wolfpack will tag up, but not before Schudeman plays it D-to-D for Chesley. Cooper Moore run into by Chesley, and he got the worst of it at the Hartford blue line. Puck bounced on a play, and with 14:25 to go, we will get a whistle. And see if anything further comes. This does not look like it will.
Mackey on his way out kind of gave Chesley a little shove, and he almost looked at him. He's like, what was that for? You're on the bench still. Mackey on the ice now, of course, as Chesley's been on the receiving end of a couple big hits tonight. That time he was able to absorb the incoming hit of Cooper Moore there. Looked like Moore might have taken the worst of it, but springs right back up on his feet.
Off the face-off, Karpa will get it to Brisson, steers it back to Connor Mackey. He's Sean Dufresne. I'm Alex Thomas. Wolfpack trailing 6-1 here in the third period on this Saturday night. Bears have struggled within the division since the new year, but are looking for 2 big points here tonight to stay ahead of Springfield at the very least, heading into the final 5 games of the regular season for Hershey. The Bears will end their season at home against Rochester on April 19th. Hartford's season ends in Springfield on the 18th. Morrow up ahead. This is Brisson, right wing side. Brisson trying to chip it to the goal, plays it into the left wing corner for Fix-Wolanski. Fix-Wolanski looking to get it to the line. Mention the Wolfpack where they stand right now. They cannot be mathematically eliminated tonight, but if they lose and Springfield wins, Wolfpack are 10 points out with only 12 points remaining for them with 6 games left after tonight. Meaning if they were to lose as Fix-Wolanski shots off the stick of Gibson and out of play against Providence on Friday, that would be the end of their playoff hope. They're down 6-1 here tonight with 13:23 to play in regulation time. You're watching Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV on Flow Hockey and listening alongside on Mixler. It's Hershey 6, Hartford 1 from People's Bank Arena.
Returning this season, all Wednesday, Wolfpack home games will feature pregame player signings. Starting 1 hour ahead of puck drop, 2 Wolfpack players will be available on the concourse behind section 107, signing autographs for 45 minutes. Tickets to all home games available at HartfordWolfpack.com. You plus 9 of your besties, family members, teammates, co-workers, whoever equals 10. 10 people gets you discounted Wolfpack tickets. We also offer a variety of experiences for groups. Whether your team wants to play on the same ice as the Wolfpack pregame, watch warm-ups from the bench, or perform at the intermission, we have options for everyone. Learn more by visiting HartfordWolfpack.com/group-interest-form or by calling 860-248-2000.
I'm Trey Fix-Wolanski, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
$13:23 to play here on this Saturday night in Hartford. The Wolfpack, 3 more home games left after tonight. They'll host Providence here on Friday, and then they'll face Bridgeport in what will be the last ever Battle of Connecticut on April the 15th, and then the home regular season finale on the 17th against Springfield here. That'll be fan appreciation night.
Expected an emotional night on the 15th, I mean.
Well, yeah, and the 12th too. We'll get to that in a moment as Dorrington off the face-off shot fought off by Gibson. Gucciardi up the boards, left wing side for Fix-Wolanski, gets it to Thompson, plays it down Parsonen. Juuso Parsonen working right wing side. Parson able to spin away from Cruikshank. Parson into the line. Fitzgerald shot tipped wide by Fix-Molansky. Picked up by Thompson. Knocked off his stick. It'll come to Gucciardi with just over 7 gone by in the third period. Cruikshank right to left, out to center. Cruikshank get a whistle. It's offside. So that'll be the last ever battle of Connecticut. The last home game for Bridgeport is Sunday, April 12th. That's a week from tomorrow. And Hartford will be the opponent. And right now, the Islanders would host a playoff, have home ice in the first round, so there'd be more hockey in Bridgeport, but nothing is guaranteed or promised the rest of the way. So, here's the question I have, the emotion coming into that. It's a little different, Sean, because not often do you have a team playing out the string that way. You got to go back to the 2015 Calder Cup playoffs when Manchester rode that emotion all the way to a Calder Cup championship and knocked off Hartford in the conference final on the way.
I mean, it's a tough goodbye. I mean, it's one of the real staple rivalries of this league, last quarter century. And
Morrow's shot glove down by Gibson for a whistle 12:26 to go.
It's going to be weird not having that in-state rival in those games. I mean, you get almost a dozen of them a year, and they always deliver. I mean, you and I were here for one of the crazier installments of that rivalry a couple months back where Hartford was able to get the upper hand. But, I mean, that was one of the feistiest games I think I've ever been here for. I think there's a very good chance it remains at the top, too. I mean, it's good stuff. And Bridgeport was always the closest AHL club to me growing up, so I got to catch a lot of their games as a kid. And you know, it's pretty cool to see this side of it, too, from a broadcaster's perspective. And it's been, I'm very appreciative for the last couple of years being able to be a part of that.
Hartford fans, look, they know how Bridgeport fans are feeling from the Whalers days and their departure. And, you know, Bridgeport obviously right now going through the emotions. Bleed taps it on goal, saved by Gibson, no rebound. So they're going through the emotions down there. We were there last night, and you could feel it in the building. There's a sense of excitement that playoff hockey's on the verge of being back for the first time since 2022, but there's a bittersweet feeling in the building. You could feel it last night. Only 2 more home games left for them, Thursday against Wilkes-Barre and Sunday against Hartford. We'll be there for that game on Sunday. We'll have Wolfpack pregame for you starting at 4:45. Call the game at 5 p.m. to wrap up Hartford's final 3-3 of the season.
I'm glad you mentioned Manchester in 2015 because, I mean, the amount of juice that has to give the players where you're fighting to keep a hockey city alive as long as possible. Very intrigued to see if they can make a run.
Dylan Robrick to the goal. It was tapped on by Lamb and a save by Gibson. Brodus will play it up ahead out of the reach of Crystal out to center. Morrow pass out of the reach of Lamb, came right onto the stick of Chesley inside of his own zone. He's Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas, just over 8 gone by here in the third period. 4 goals in a span of 7:59. Took a 2-1 game and made it 6-1. This is Brodus on the backhand, looking to go backdoor. They score. Bogdan Trinyev, second of the game, 7-1 Hershey.
It's going to be the 5th point for Brodus as well, who's just having his way in this game. Talking about the silky hands he had, he demonstrated it on their 3rd goal of the night. This time he just gets onto the backhand. He's got that long reach. He's able to protect the puck, and Trinyev knows right where to go, and can't really fault Martin on that one.
No, it's a backdoor play. He's got no chance. He got no chance.
He had one of those saves earlier this period where he's able to get across, so he certainly has done his part tonight, coming in for a relief appearance.
7-1 Hershey. That's 5 unanswered goals now. Second time in the last month Hartford's given up 7 in a game. Remember, they lost 7-0 in Providence back on the 14th of March. 3rd time this season they've given up, 4th time this season they've given up at least 7. Lost 7-1 here on January 28th at Charlotte. 9-0 in Charlotte on the 15th of February. 7-0 in Providence, as we just told you, the 14th of March, and now down 7-1 here tonight. Mackey left wing side for Bryce McConnell-Barker. Shot fought off by Gibson. Good screen, Karpa. Fitzgerald down the right wing. Karpa tied up by Gucciardi. So this what the doctor ordered, this kind of outing for Hershey, Sean. They've been struggling within the division. There's been some issues for them in the last little bit. As you mentioned in the open of the broadcast, not quite up to their standard. But here tonight, after the misplay by Gibson, made it 2-1, 10 seconds into the second period. They have taken this game over, and Hartford
has struggled to get much going in the O-zone. McDonald left wing side. Ilya Protas now 5 points in this game, 4 assists tonight, 33 in the year, and up to 61 points. And Andrew Crystal, 4 points as well tonight, 2 goals, 2 assists. Secondary assist, his 38th of the year. He's now got 56 points. And Bogdan Triniev, a 2-2-4 stat line tonight, as that line has, quite frankly, dominated here tonight at People's Bank Arena with 10-12 to go in regulation time.
Certainly is where you're going to look at when you look at the box score for this game. It's just going to be plastered with this line. I mean, they have been utterly dominant, and I think if you're a Capitals fan tuning into this one, it's got to excite you quite a bit about what you have down here and what the future could look like for the big club there.
So, taking a look out of town with Bridgeport idle tonight. The other game of interest to the Wolfpack and to the Bears in Lehigh Valley. It's 3-0 for the Penguins, so if that result holds and this result holds, Lehigh Valley's magic number will go down to 6. Bridgeport's will go down to 5. Springfield's tied 2-2. Their magic number would go to 9 with a Lehigh loss. If Springfield gets any points, it'll further dip their magic number. And the Wolfpack right now are looking at a scenario where they will have to win out to have a playoff hope the rest of the way with 6 games left. Moore will turn fire, shot deflected wide. 9:20 to go in regulation time, 7-1 Hershey, 5 unanswered goals after Hartford cut it to 2-1. Triniev the most recent goal at 8:20 in the third period from Protas and Crystal. Lifted up ahead by Bleed out to center. This is Vic Smolanski will fire it down the right wing side. If this holds, will be Hartford's 5th consecutive loss at home, Sean. And with 3 games to go, they would have just 10 wins at home. The franchise low is 13 wins at home back in the 16-17 season. So if this result holds, the best Hartford can do is match that if they win their final 3 at home. If you're going to look here in April, should Hartford not make the playoffs, their struggles at home is going to be a chief reason for that.
Absolutely.
For some reason, they just haven't been able to get things going here at People's Bank Arena. Scott Moore out to the right of Spencer Martin, up ahead for Dylan Robrick. Robrick left wing side, got through Crystal. His shot glove save. Gibson will hang on with 8:19 the play. In regulation time, the Bears in control. They lead 7-1 from People's Bank Arena on a Saturday night. Hershey on their way to closing in on their magic number. You're watching Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV on Flow Hockey and Mixler.
College nights with the Packer back. College students will receive a ticket discount with a valid .edu email for select Pack games this season. All college night games take place on a Friday, which means that students can score $2 hot dogs and $2 drafts until the end of the first intermission, in addition to their ticket discount. Hockey Happy Hour, presented by Minuteman Press Hartford, is also back this season. To see the eligible dates, visit hartfordwolfpack.com/college. The Pack face off against the rival Providence Bruins on Friday, April 10th at 7 p.m. The first 2,500 fans in attendance will receive a copy of the 2025-26 team picture. There will also be $2 drafts and $2 hot dogs available until the end of the first intermission. Hockey Happy Hour, presented by Minuteman Press Hartford, is back in the Electric Boat Heritage Club, and all ticketed fans are welcome to the Chill Zone 2 hours before puck drop. Tickets at hartfordwolfpack.com.
Hi, I'm Dylan Grand, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
Welcome back inside the broadcast booth. 8:19 the play in regulation time here tonight. 7-1 your score. The Bears on their way to what will be their 29th win of the season. They will get back to 500.
I did not win the jersey raffle by the looks of it, no. Maybe next time.
Oh, there you go. You know, that's a good way to look at it.
It's off by 1 digit last game, so.
Oh, really?
Couldn't get any closer than that, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's about as close as you can get.
I might just have to switch to the Chuck-a-Puck. I do think I can reach the ice from here. Maybe it's, what's the word?
Part of me wants to see you try. No, part of me wants to see you try.
Maybe a pregame when no one's in the seats.
Okay.
I'll take one up here and see what I can do.
Ortiz up ahead for Karpa. Well, you and I have 2 more games together. The 10th of April against Providence, then Fan Appreciation Night the 17th. You'll have the call of the game against Bridgeport on the 15th. alongside Aiden Garvey. I'll be with the Rangers in Tampa for their regular season finale. Left to right, Chris Ortiz trying to play it across, broken up by Protas, and moving up the ice is Bogdan Trinyev with a little bit of space on the right wing. Trinyev got around Ortiz, and then Ortiz able to stay with him as Trinyev forced below the goal line will backhand one out to center. Gucciardi up ahead, Trinyev to the left wing. This is flung into the right wing corner, picked up by Mackey. Sam Bitton working on him, loose puck Juuso Parssinen. Parssinen flips it up ahead, trying to find Walcott. Glove down at center ice by Gucciardi. Played down the left wing. Scanlon chasing with just over 7 to go in regulation time tonight. Brisson will find Parssinen left wing side. Walcott going to the goal. Parssinen run into by Bitton. Walcott loose puck in the left wing corner. Picks it up for Hartford. Steers it down low. Parssinen right wing corner for Brisson. Up top Fitzgerald. Shot whistles wide by the glove of Gibson, who's playing the second half of back-to-backs. Remember, Clay Stevenson and Jesper Vikman are both injured and unavailable for Hershey. So Garen Bjorklund has had some struggles. So they go with Mitch Gibson on back-to-back nights. And he has made 31 saves here in this hockey game for the Bears. Brisson curls back into his own zone. Hershey will salvage one game in this season series. The Wolfpack win the season series regardless of tonight after winning 3 of the first 4. Hartford 3 games to none in the season series. Just 4 meetings between these two teams this year. Fix Wolanski trying to dart in, run into by McDonald. Right wing side gets it to Anton Bleed. Back down low, Robrick. This is Fix Wolanski around the boards. Left wing side chasing is Dorrington. Trying to get it away from Milano. Bears able to pick it up, and it's chipped out to center ice. Bouncing puck to the Hartford blue line, settled down by Morrow. Under 6 to go. Right wing side, Robrick. Pass out of the reach of Bleed, came right to Bitton, and he'll with ease take it out to center and dump it into the Hartford zone with 5:40 to go in regulation. So the Wolfpack only saw Hershey 4 times this year. That's the fewest of any divisional opponent. They played Wilkes-Barre and Lehigh 6 times each. Suzdalev will drop it. Shot save Martin. Rebound out to Thompson. Played 8 games with Charlotte. And then 10 each with Springfield and Providence and 12 with Bridgeport. And with Bridgeport's departure to Hamilton, that's certainly going to change the schedule matrix for Hartford. We'll see how that does impact things in the summer when the schedule comes out and how many more times, if any, we see the Bears next year. Schoeneman's shot went off a leg, comes to Thompson. He'll move right to left out to center with 5 to go. That's one of the interesting parts too, Sean, is it's not like the NHL where it's an even schedule. The matrix is different for every team in the American League, and Hartford plays Bridgeport the most out of anybody on their schedule. So that's going to change things this year for the next year rather for the Wolfpack with Bridgeport heading to Hamilton.
I did see your post on social media.
Oh, it leaks through Martin, and Lamb took it off the goal line. The red light went on, but that never crossed as Dalton Smith nearly had his second goal of the game. That just leaked through Martin. It rolled across the red line, never went fully across, and it stays 7-1.
That puck was rolling. I can't believe it just turned the way it did.
Good job by Lamb to recognize it and pull it away from danger. Karpa right wing side, shot off a leg. Väisänen looking to pick it up. Now Karpa behind the Hershey goal. Puck taken by Trinyev. He'll leave it back for Gucciardi. Off the end boards, this is Belpedio. Smacked out to center. Crystal tied up with Mackey. Loose puck picked up by Karpa. He'll carry it into the left wing. Got it to Väisänen. Shot blocked off Gucciardi into the right wing corner. Anton Bleed picks it up. Marked by Gucciardi and Protas. Under 4 to go in regulation time here tonight. The Bears on their way to 2 big points and inching closer to a playoff spot in the Atlantic Division. Bogdan Trinyev on the right wing will feed Protas. Looking to go backdoor, a shot, they score. Andrew Crystal the hat trick, 8-1 Hershey. Well, this line has dominated here tonight. There's really no way around it. And Ilya Protas, that is going to be 5 assists in this game. Andrew Crystal the hat trick. 3:35 to go in regulation time. 6 unanswered goals. 8-1 on the hat trick for Crystal. His 19th goal of the year.
I can't say this season here at home I've seen an opposing player come in and dominate the way that Ilya Protas has tonight. I mean, That is pretty remarkable what he's done here tonight. For a Hershey team that is not, they've got 2 wins in their last 10 games, points in 3 of their last 10.
They've struggled, but
this could be a turning point for them here tonight. It could be just what the doctor ordered, and it's a shame it had to come at Hartford's expense, as it was looked like it could have been a tight game early in the second there. But
Brisson dances in, shot, save Gibson. He'll hang on. 3:07 to go. It's the second time this year they've given up 8 goals, and that's a red flag. You know, it's happened too often this year, Sean, where games have gotten out of hand for the Wolfpack, and that's something that's going to have to get addressed. And there's no other way around it. That's got to be addressed. We'll step aside. 3:07 to play. All Hershey here tonight.
Fans, now you can experience the AHL like never before. Watch AHL TV on Flow Hockey. Watch HD quality streams of every AHL game, live or on demand, from wherever you are, on your desktop, laptop, tablet, phone, smart TV, or OTT device. Visit flowhockey.tv to join now and never miss a moment of AHL action. The Pack is back at their newly renovated home for the 2025-26 season. Join us at the newly transformed People's Bank Arena to see what the hype is all about. The season lineup features new theme nights, new giveaway items, new specialty jerseys, and new lower bowl seats. Newly renovated home, save hard-hitting, exciting action all season long. Don't miss a minute of the excitement in the heartbeat of Connecticut. Tickets at hartfordwolfpack.com/tickets.
Spencer Martin, and you're watching Wolfpack Hockey.
.307 to go. It is 8-1 Hershey here. 7 unanswered goals. Rather, check that, 6 unanswered goals for the Bears. Andrew Crystal, a hat trick here in the third period. As the puck is poked to the Hartford blue line, he's Sean Dufresne and Alex Thomas, and this is a night that has gotten away from Hartford here, Sean. They got it to within 2-1, but 6 unanswered goals, and the second time this year they've given up 8. Second time at home they've given up at least 7. It's the most goals they've given up at home in a game this season. This will be their 5th straight home loss, their 6th in a row overall. Back up top, Ortiz, right wing side for Scanlon. His high shot missed by the glove of Gibson. Trying to dig it free behind the net was Brisson. Came to Ortiz, left wing side. Ortiz waits, shoots off the stick of Schooneman. To the right wing side, Scanlon will keep it in with 2:20 to go. Brandon Scanlon floats the shot, blockered away by Gibson. Came to Ortiz on the left wing. His shot misses wide. Schooneman providing a screen on his own goaltender, Gibson, there. Hartford unable to take advantage of it as Chesley pokes it up ahead, and the Bears will vacate their own zone here. Now, it's a game, Sean, that got on a hand for Hartford, and I think looking forward, that is something that really is going to have to get corrected. The Wolfpack will need to find a way moving forward, not just the rest of this season, but into next year, to stop the bleeding and find a way to better maintain momentum and to find a way to prevent these games from happening. It's just happened far too often for this team this year.
I mean, you nailed it right there. I mean, how can we prevent this from happening at least this frequently next season? I mean, you mentioned it's now the second time this year that they've allowed 8 or more goals, and you know, it's a lot of statistics that I think they aren't going to love about some of these games this year, and it's a shame because, you know, I mean, especially earlier in the season, it felt like the identity was being built, and I think it's
especially through January.
It successfully, I think, was to an extent. I mean, then you got teams like Bridgeport that were just winning at will for a bit. Kudos to them. As
well, Hartford dug their way back in. You know, we left Charlotte on the 19th of March with the Wolfpack sitting 2 points out of a playoff spot, but since then, 6 overall losses all in a row, 4 in regulation time. And the Wolfpack will sit at least 8 points out of a playoff spot when tonight ends, and they are on the outside here. As Cooper Moore back into his own zone up ahead for Aiden Thompson through center ice in the final 37 seconds. Hartford will drop both this weekend. They give up 12 goals and scored just 3 in 2 regulation losses. A disappointing 24 hours as Morrow's shot is fought off by Gibson, picked up by Bitton.
Intercepted by Thompson with 20 seconds to go. Thompson on the left wing boards, will take it to the line. Backhands it to Karpa. His shot tipped on, save Gibson. Rebound played into the left wing corner. Back up top for Thompson, 10 seconds to go. Aiden Thompson shot pinballs off a leg, goes wide. Trying to pick it up behind the net are the Wolfpack. This is Lamb, he'll turn, he'll fire a riser, and that'll do it. The Hershey Bears score 6 unanswered and roll to an 8-1 win here tonight. So with this loss, Sean, the Wolfpack will clinch the fewest home wins in a single season in franchise history. 13 in 2016-17. They've got 10 with 3 games left, so the best they can do is match it at this point. It's been a disappointing year at home. Wolfpack fall to 24-34, 5-3. The Bears back to 500 at 29-29, 6-3. And let's take a look at the Atlantic Division right now, where the Hershey Bears have jumped back into, maintain the 5 spot. They're 1 point back of Bridgeport now for the 4 spot, and Hershey's magic number drops down to 8, depending on the result tonight in Lehigh Valley. Let's go down to the 3 stars of the game, and when we return, Sean and I will wrap it up and get you set for next weekend. The Bruins in town on Friday night. Game 67 of this season. Your final score, Hershey 8, Hartford 1. Stand by for the 3 stars, and then it's Wolfpack postgame here from People's Bank Arena.
Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed.
It's time to announce tonight's 3 stars of the game. The 3rd star from Hershey, number 44, Bogdan Triniev.
The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry. Be happy.
Tonight's 2nd star from Hershey, number 20, Andrew Crystal.
Don't worry.
And tonight's 1st star from Hershey, number 40, Ilya Protas.
Hey, I give you my phone number. When you're worried, call me. I'll make you happy.
So Ilya Protas, I mean, I don't remember a night like this from another player in this building in my 5 years. 6 points for Ilya Protas tonight. I mean, ridiculous what he was able to do, and quite frankly, Hartford had no answer for him, Andrew Crystal, and Bogdan Triniev tonight.
Yeah, I mean, prior to tonight, I would have said Hunter Drew. I think he had a 5-point night in January in this building, but I mean, a goal and 5 assists is outrageous. I mean, that was a heck of a game by the rookie. Both rookies, Crystal as well deserving of some 3 stars nods. Triniev gets in there as well, and yeah, definitely a frustrating outcome for all parties involved on the Hartford side, I think.
What positives, if any, can you take and move into next weekend?
Well, I think you look at the way the game started, and yes, it was an early goal from Crystal, 1:16 into the game, but Hartford looked shot out of a cannon to start that game.
I agree.
That's a Hartford team that, to me, is in the moments this season when there's been some hope and they've looked like a menacing team that's posing a serious threat. That first, I know it sounds ridiculous, the first 70 and change seconds of that game, they were physical. They had a couple chances right off the hop. They were making the goaltender Gibson move around, playing his second half of a back-to-back, and I mean, yeah, it's a shot that rims around out into the neutral zone. The rookie gets a jump on it first, and then you can say that kind of tells the story in a sense, and it's a great start in the second period as well, and then very quickly it snowballs into a couple quick goals from the opposition. And you know, I think a positive to take into next week is this team has nothing to lose, and it's now a Providence team coming into town next week that they look well on their way to potentially locking up the division. I'd imagine that they might be a little careful with who they put out there at this point in the season, maybe, depending on the point. We'll see.
I would also argue, though, Providence has not played their best hockey in 3-4 weeks now. They need to get themselves in gear here before the bye.
They need a good 60-minute game to give them that belief.
Fully agree.
Even if they're the top seed, I think it's good to be playing good hockey going into the postseason instead of having a little bit of self-doubt. So that's
especially for a team that, quite frankly,
has struggled in the playoffs the last handful of years.
Exactly. It's kind of it's been something that's plagued them a bit. Some strong regular seasons and some results that they don't love in the postseason. But Hartford's got to just find a way to. There were good things in this game. I know it's 8-1. You're saying what could possibly have been good about it? Well, honestly, the first 25 minutes of that game I think were great for Hartford, and it's a shame. I feel for Tongue a bit. I think some of those early goals he didn't really have much of a chance on.
Yeah, I would agree. No chance really in the first 2 goals, and that's what's frustrating, Sean, because they did a lot of good things in the first. You mentioned 25 minutes of this game, got it to 2-1, felt like they were ready to turn this game north, and just the 4 goals in 7:59 took all the wind out of the sails, and realistically, from a competitive standpoint, at that point, the game was out of reach, and I think you saw that reflected in the third period tonight, where neither side really pushing too hard in that third period, with the result mostly determined with Hershey leading 6-1 after 2. All right, Sean, we'll talk to you Friday night when the Wolfpack welcome the Bruins to town to open up the final 3-3 of the season. All right, let's quickly go around the American Hockey League on this Saturday night. Down to the final minute and 40 seconds tonight in San Jose. It's the Colorado Eagles up 4-2 on the San Jose Barracuda. Good game up the road in Springfield, 3-3 between the Thunderbirds and the Syracuse Crunch. 7:19 to go in the third period there. T-Birds are occupying the final playoff spot in the Atlantic Division. They win tonight. They will go 10 points up on Hartford. 3-3 your score with 8:46 to go in the second period at Rocket Arena in Cleveland. Good game between the Monsters and the visiting Milwaukee Admirals. It is all Penguins tonight in Allentown. Wilkes-Barre Scranton up 5-1 with 6:04 to go in the second period over Lehigh Valley. So if the Penguins hang on and win that game, the Islanders' magic number will dip to 5. Hershey's magic number will go from 10 to 6, as they've already won here tonight, cut that down 2. A Phantoms regulation loss would bring that down to 6, and Springfield's magic number would dip down to 9 with a Lehigh Valley regulation loss tonight. If Springfield wins, their magic number would go effectively would go down 3 more. So that meant, because they would hold the regulation wins tiebreaker over Lehigh Valley, so the magic number would actually go down 5. It would be at 6 for Springfield at the end of the night tonight if they can win that game in regulation against Syracuse. Hartford now 8 points out, as we mentioned. Elsewhere in the AHL, 0-0 late in the first period in 2 games, Iowa at Rockford and Chicago at Texas. Coming up later tonight, Tucson is in Henderson. Ontario welcomes Bakersfield to town. And at 10 o'clock tonight, it's Coachella Valley going for a weekend sweep in Abbotsford. Other finals around the AHL tonight. Utica 4-0 winners at home over the Belleville Senators. Laval, they come from behind, Laval wins 4-3 in a shootout after Martin Ferg scored at 18-17 to force overtime for Calgary. Wranglers have had a trying year, but they go to Laval and take 3 out of 4 points. It's a good weekend for them. Grand Rapids 7-2 winners today in Winnipeg over the Manitoba Moose. Charlotte Checkers win 5-1 over the Toronto Marlies. And here's my favorite out-of-town score of the day. 4:17 into overtime, Matteo Costantini scores to give Rochester a 2-1 overtime win over Providence on the day they honor the legendary Don Stevens, and he gets an overtime game winner at home to call. Congratulations on a great career, Don. That is awesome. Anybody who missed it, Don also got to call the second period of Buffalo and the Islanders earlier this week in Buffalo. Sabres did an awesome job honoring Don, whose career comes to an end as he retires after this season. In the NHL, 15 games in the slate today. Currently in action, Montreal up 3-1 in New Jersey over the Devils late in the second period. Washington doubling up Buffalo 4-2 late in the second period there. Capitals, don't look now. They're still very much in the Stanley Cup playoff race. Carolina up 3-2 over the Islanders in Raleigh late in the second period. After 2 in Columbus, 1-1 between the Blue Jackets and the Jets. Columbus with a win tonight would move into the second wildcard spot after losses earlier today for Ottawa and Detroit. Utah leading 3-2 in Vancouver, 10:54 to go in the second period there. Toronto up 3-2 in Los Angeles, 10:18 to go in the second period. And coming up tonight, 4 games. Vegas is in Edmonton. Anaheim hosts Calgary. San Jose welcomes Nashville to town. And Chicago is in Seattle. Finals earlier today, the Rangers 4-1 winners at home over the Detroit Red Wings. Rangers host the Parent Club of the Bears, the Washington Capitals, tomorrow night. Minnesota 4-1 winners earlier today in Ottawa By the way, the Ranger win clinches a playoff spot for both Tampa Bay and Buffalo. The Red Wings stay at 88 points, but they don't lose any ground because Ottawa also loses. So the Sens and Red Wings are tied with 88 points. And right now, tied after 2 is Columbus. So they're trying to make up ground and jump in. The only team that's not in action today who's in that playoff race is Philadelphia, who's possibly looking at a perfect Saturday for them. Other finals in the NHL today, 2-0 Colorado wins in Dallas, 3-1 Tampa wins at home over Boston, and a 9-4 victory for the Pittsburgh Penguins at home over the Florida Panthers in the Steel City. Here in Hartford, Andrew Crystal scores 116 and 14-23 into the game to give the Bears a 2-0 lead after 1. Bryce McConnell-Barker scores 10 seconds into the second period, 12th goal of the year to make it a 2-1 game. Aiden Thompson, his 13th assist of the year, 20th point. And Scott Morrow, 11th assist, 15th point of the year. Got Hartford again, the 2-1, 10 seconds into the second period. But the next 6 goals off Hershey sticks. Ilya Protas at 3:37. Kyler Kupka at 5:19. Bogdan Trineyev at 11:22. And Dalton Smith at 11:36 of the second period. Trineyev then would score again at 8:20 of the third. Crystal, the hat-trick goal at 16:25 of the third period would end your scoring. Taking a look at Hershey tonight, they get 3 goals from Andrew Crystal, a hat-trick for him, 19 goals in the year. He has 5 points tonight, 3 goals, 2 assists. He's now got 57 points in his rookie season. 6 points tonight for Ilya Protas. 1 goal, his 28th in the year, and 5 assists. He's got 34 in the year now, a 6-point night. He has 62 points in the season. 2 goals and 2 assists for Bogdan Trineyev, up to 15 goals, 26 assists, and 41 points on the year. Kyler Kupka, first career AHL goal, is his 2nd point of the season. An assist tonight for Matt Strome. And how about Dalton Smith, a veteran, heavy presence in the lineup with a goal and an assist tonight, now up to 5 points on the season. 34-save victory tonight for Mitch Gibson. It's his 9th of the year. Callum Tung gives up 6 goals on 16 shots. He takes the loss. He's 5-6-1 in the year. Spencer Martin gives up 2 goals on 13 shots in 28 minutes and 24 seconds of relief. 3 stars tonight, Bogdan Trineyev, 2 goals and 2 assists. Your 3rd star, Andrew Crystal, the number 2 star, with 5 points tonight, a hat-trick and 2 assists. And 1 goal and 5 assists for Ilya Protas, a 6-point night. He's your number 1 star. Penalties tonight, just 2 in the first period, both coming in 11:05. Henrik Rubinski of Hershey, Dylan Robrick of Hartford, 2 each for roughing. In the second period, Sam Bitton and Casey Fitzgerald each get 5 for fighting at 14-11. Bitton gets an extra 2 for roughing that Kupka would serve. Hartford's Cooper Moore gets 2 for roughing. The only power play of the game came at 19:53 of the second period when Cooper Moore was assessed a 2-minute minor for hooking. No penalties in the third period tonight. Hershey 0 for 1 on the power play. The Wolfpack did not get a power play opportunity. Shots on goal in the third period, Hartford 15, Hershey 6. Game total, Wolfpack 35, Bears 29. Hartford falls to 24-34, 5-3. They've lost 6 in a row, 5 straight here at home. The Bears get back to 500, 29-29, 6-3. They'll be in Charlotte next Saturday at 4 p.m. Our next broadcast comes your way next Friday night at 6:45 p.m. on AHL TV on Flow Hockey and on Mixer with Wolfpack pregame. Then Sean and I will have the call of the game at 7 p.m. when the Providence Bruins come to town for the final meeting of the season between the top team in the American Hockey League and the Hartford Wolfpack. Until then, for Sean Dufresne, I'm Alex Thomas saying so long from People's Bank Arena in downtown Hartford. The Wolfpack fall 8-1 here tonight in front of 5,514 at People's Bank Arena. We'll talk to you Friday. Until then, good night, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and to those who celebrate, a happy Easter to you and yours.
This has been Wolfpack Hockey on AHL TV on Flow Hockey and Mixler. For all the latest news and updates, visit us on the web at www.hartfordwolfpack.com.